everyone, and welcome to round number 5 of the 2020 Race Factor Gaming Grand Prix Championship. It is the MXS Grand Prix of Italy at Maggiora Park in Italy, as we are set to go MX2 racing here. We're going to get things off started right away with the MX2 class coming up here, and it's a really close championship battle. Tyler Lang, Braden Carter tied atop the points table. Payson Johnson a little further down, as is Colby Eagland. And then, of course, we'll see our 450 boys going to bat a little bit later on this evening. Only 8 points between Alexis Leclerc and Jack Haley atop the points table there. So it's going to be some fun battles to watch in that 450 division. But Maggiora Park, located in the northern part of Italy, just south of the Swiss Alps, is a 1,650-meter length racetrack, a little over a mile in total length, and we're about basically right next to Maggiora, the actual town, and roughly 30 miles to 40 miles outside of Milan, and about 300 miles or so away from Rome, the capital of Italy as well. So right in that northern part of Italy. But here is the racetrack that these guys will be tackling here tonight. Finish line jump into a little switchback that goes up alongside a sequence file that pops up on the start gate. You'll actually see those guys kind of clipping that as they come back on, trying to just clip that timing gate. Then a sweeping left-hand first corner into 3 subtle rollers into a switchback section right off the get-go here. So it's going to be tight quarters out of the first corner here. Then they go up to the very top of the hill here, right out of the third corner, this step up to the top, and you want to land hard on the brakes to get to these inside ruts. Then you drop down the elevator shaft, big downhill right back into the center of everything here. Kind of have a U-turn here, inside-outside options, and then this big bowl corner. Remember back in 2016 at the Motocross of Nations here, that's where Cooper Webb had a fall in that big bowl right there. Another U-turn at the bottom of the hill. And then you kind of go into the back half of the track here. This race tech table sends you into the other half of the racetrack. You land off this table. Now you're on the other side of the hill from the restaurant that's actually on the right-hand side here, a restaurant that's open most of the year and during race days. Kind of a little cool feature there with a swimming pool on it. Big table here in the back after you kind of go through these ups and downs, and then another up, another down. Kind of a hard right 90 here into a little 180 at the top of the hill here again. And then you come right back down into the center of this back section with this little ride365.com triple. Another switchback, a lot of switchbacks. You're going to be seeing a lot of inside-outside options out of these guys here tonight. But inside here, you could go outside, inside in both of these corners really. And then this really tall, steep kind of step-up / table. Then you swing around here and just carry a lot of speed into these race tech rollers. Try to get them as smooth as possible and carry momentum all the way to this very, very back section of the racetrack. You're almost completely on the opposite side of the facility here. Come up to the top here again, inside-outside options. We'll see ruts developing. And then a small little table drops you down into this gigantic Ride 365 table here. You're going to see some big whips being thrown off of this thing. So much air time and hang time for the guys there. And a race tech wall jump brings you back down by the mechanics area one last time. And that is a lap here at Maggiora Park for the 5th round of the MXSGP World Championship in MX Simulator. Of course, my name is Kellen Brauer, and I'm glad to be back with you guys this week. You know, I've had a week and a half off or so. My daughter was actually born not last Thursday, but the Thursday before that. So I took some time off just trying to kind of regroup and spend time with the family, essentially. So I'm glad that I'm back here with you guys. And we're going to try to bring you guys not only action tonight, but probably make up that race that we missed at High Point tomorrow night. So be on the lookout for that. And then we'll go right into the 3rd round of Nationals on Wednesday. But let's take a look at the qualifying times that the 250 class laid down in the MX2 division. Braden Carter, 156.9, fastest qualifier. Payson Johnson, 57 flat. And a 57.5 out of Isaiah Dickerson. Tyler Lang, your joint points leader, ends up 4th, but he's almost 2 whole seconds off of Braden Carter's quick time around here. And the Aussie Tyron Tomic rounds out the top 5. Of course, we're going to get things kicked off as always with a consolation race. So everybody basically back from 37, I should say, Nick Tomastunis right here, all the way down will be in this consolation race. They'll be going for those 4 final transfer positions to get into the motos, and we're going to find out who exactly makes it through right about now, as we're going to go ahead and jump into game and see what's going on here at Maggiora Park. But again, so glad you guys could join us here for the 5th round of the RFGP Championship, the official halfway point of the championship as well. This is only a 10-round series, so after tonight, we'll be halfway through this series and coming down to the home stretch. So feels like we just got started, but we're already moving into the second half of the season, and a lot of storylines developing in both of these classes championship-wise. Some real drama developing on both sides of the spectrum, but of course, just getting started here tonight with this MX2 division and seeing kind of how everything shakes down between Braden Carter and Tyler Lang. Guys like Payson Johnson, Isaiah Dickerson, Colby Eaglin, Tyron Tomich, just to name a few, are wanting to kind of spoil the party most likely. But at the very least, going to be interesting to see how those guys fare at the front of the field. But before we can race the Italian Grand Prix in MX Simulator, you have to obviously qualify for the Italian Grand Prix, and 36 riders have already done that. Here's a host of riders who have not quite done it just yet, and they're going to go for 4 laps in the top 4, transfer into the motos. So let's go ahead and turn that 30 card sideways and drop the gate here. It's the consolation race at Majora. And it looks like I chose the right man here. Michael Mudd's going to get to the corner first, but he gets pushed wide by the 241. Thomas Sunis gets a whole shot, but it was actually Liam Atkinson who drove it in a little bit deep. And the 507 of Thomas Sunis gets that whole shot. He's going to try to set sail away from everybody. Maybe 11 riders in this one or so, so not too many people will be going home unhappy here. But there are some people that will not make the motos right now. And this is going to be frantic action early as Thomas Sunis is trying to get away at the front. Holland jumps off the track in the background, but he will settle right back in nicely into third, right in front of Brandon Nygren on that 510. J.R. Reyes up here on the Rhino Power 552, and Atkinson just had a big mistake, so now all these guys are right on his tail. Oh, and another mistake. Holland gets stacked up. Can any of these guys get over the table because of it? Oh, it's so close. All of them seemingly case it. And over the back of them comes Cooper Hunt on the 304 VlastMX.com Yamaha. Trevor Spencer also goes by him. So all these guys looking to gain some positions. J.R. Reyes on the inside of Holland on the Tagger Designs table. Oh, man, he's cutting the track like crazy and then puts Ethan Holland down. That is going to be an illegal track reentry. And if he were protested for that, he would definitely end up on the wrong side of the stick there. But we'll see how it goes. But in the background there, that was Trevor Spencer going off the track, and he's trying to hop back over the berm here. Got to be careful with these track reentries. Some of them have been atrocious thus far. Taylor Bloxham, Joe Wagner were able to get on by. Ethan Holland also got back around. Cooper Hunt, J.R. Reyes, Brandon Nygren, Liam Atkinson, and Thomas Sunis still leading us as we come down to this big table. No style, little flick for Atkinson. J.R. Reyes in the battle here with Nygren. Cooper Hunt getting sideways for us. Ethan Holland getting cranked, and he brings it back. Nicely done. Joe Wagner a little sideways behind him, but it's actually this battle here I want to keep an eye on. This one is close as down the inside goes Nygren on J.R. Reyes over the finish line jump. 3-rider train here. And this is 3, 4, 5 on the racetrack, so they only have 2 of these riders going through into a transfer spot right now. Cooper Hunt on that 304 ride trying to move up and make something happen, but look at J.R. Reyes coming back. Oh, and then gets pushed out by Nygren, and Cooper Hunt takes advantage to go inside of both of them and move up into third. So Nygren trying to defend on J.R. Reyes' attack on the outside, pushed them both out. And now he has to, and he gets hit in the back. J.R. Reyes takes them both down again, and they're still battling. And then that is Nygren going sideways in front of J.R. Reyes, taking his front wheel down, and he is on the ground. So Ethan Holland able to take advantage here and go through into fourth, but he just made another mistake. The 111 Redline machine, he's having some struggles in that corner before this racetrack table, and he cases it and he's going to go down, and Nygren just able to avoid it. Joe Wagner also goes around his teammate falling there. Oh, man, and now he gets out of shape up the hill here. These guys are struggle busting it. So Nygren gets away clean here for now. It is still Thomas Sunis out front, though, on the 507cc ride. This is a newly formed team. We're just seeing him this week. And Thomas Sunis trying to make them look good out front as he is cruising away with the potential consolation race victory, which is exactly what he was hoping to do. Of course, he will only have 37th gate pick with this victory, so it's still not the best scenario, but it's a lot better than not making the motos at all. And right now, he's in a pretty good position to at least still make the motos. Thomas Sunis, a little crank there. Atkinson, a little sideways. It's been a good race to do shots for dualies, but my wife and I are still getting very limited amounts of sleep. My wife particularly, with a baby that wakes up every couple hours that needs feeding. So I decided no alcoholic beverages this evening. All these guys coming over this tabletop, though. All right, 2 laps down, 2 to go. And can Brandon Nygren hold off this charge coming from behind as Joe Wagner on the red line 741. Hit him up on Twitch. I think that's what TTV means, Twitch TV. JDub741. Not sure if he'll be live streaming this right now, but if you want to see a onboard perspective of this battle, that'd be kind of cool if you jump over there and check that out real quick. As he goes off the track there, that could come down to cuts. Nygren doing a good job to hold him at bay right now, though. It's really just a waiting game for all these guys. Just trying to play it safe. A real battle right now between our leaders, Thomas Sunis and Liam Atkinson, getting set to do battle for the race lead here. Atkinson right behind this RFGP flag. I guess I should have moved that camera. My mistake. On the outside for Atkinson. Let's see if he goes outside again. No, he actually tucks to this middle rut this time as Thomas Sunis goes outside. And Thomas Sunis is getting a little froggy over that jump there. Almost went down. And Atkinson's got a great drive down the rollers. Up to the other side, launches it a little bit further. Oh, almost gets alongside, but Thomas Sunis shuts the door. And now he's going to blow the inside of the corner. That could be Atkinson's opportunity. Coming down the hill, we're going to get some dualies. Oh, nice. Dualies. Dualies, a classic Mike Owen out of Australia term. Use that all the time. There's a good battle, though, between these two. White flag is waving. Atkinson's going deep over the finish line jump. And Thomas Sunis landed it clean and got away scot-free. It is still Nygren in fourth, and Wagner has lost a little bit of time now. He's got to watch out because here comes J.R. Reyes on the 552. Of course, both of these guys not in transfer positions at the moment, so they need something dramatic to happen here. And they're not getting it out of the lead four. The lead four playing it real smart and safe. Nygren's got a gap to work with now, so he should be comfortable. Cooper Hunt's got, I think, enough time to crash and still get up and transfer at this point. And our leader's definitely in a really good position as well. So it's coming down to the end here for the win. Don't think it's going to come down to the end for the final transfer spot. It looks like it's pretty safe and sound, at least for the moment. But does Atkinson have something for Thomas Sunis? No, he's going to go down. And Cooper Hunt, who has been slowly reeling these guys in, takes full advantage of that to go around. He moves up into the 2 spot. Atkinson drops back to 3rd. And Nygren looks like he is still going to be fine here in 4th unless Joe Wagner can do something different here down the stretch. Only about half of the race remains. Or half of this lap, I should say. There's well over half the race complete, so only about, what, 1/8 of the race remaining? I'm getting technical. So just keeping an eye on Nygren, make sure he is all safe and sound here, but he's getting a little wayward through those ruts. Always got to be careful. Don't want to cough one of these things up late. It's like the worst feeling in the world to be 4th spot in the LCQ and have a late crash or something like that. Sucks. Either way, Nick Thomas-Sunis is going to bring us down to the checkered flag, and he will take the consolation race win. No, he won't. He missed the finish line jump. Cooper Hunt takes the consolation race win. And let's see, Liam Atkinson will pick up 2nd. Thomas-Sunis drops all the way back to 4th, so he'll end up with last gate pick as Nygren crossed the line 3rd. So Thomas-Sunis trying to do a wheelie to celebrate. Actually cost himself a few gate picks there. So that was kind of funny, but regardless, they're going to be all safe because Joe Wagner crashed here before the finish line jump. Wagner will cross the line 4/10 behind Michael Mudge, who crossed the line just ahead of him in 5th. And Ricky Williams was the last man to actually cross the checkered flag. Everybody else DNFing this one. And looking at cuts, looks like Nygren dropped back to 4th on cuts, so Thomas-Sunis actually ends up with that 3rd spot in this one. And Cooper Hunt using this little, I think it's like a pit bike track that they have down here, and it's just kind of cool. The Race Factory Gaming guys included it. Cooper Hunt getting his Supercross skills on. But that is the consolation race done and dusted. MX2 Race 1 will be coming up next, and that will feature all of our heavy hitters, including fastest qualifier and new red plate holder, dual red plate holders this week. But new red plate holder on his own right is Braden Carter, fastest qualifier, and has got the red background, so let's see how he's able to do. Cooper Hunt front flipping through the rollers there. That was kind of cool. A little better view down here maybe. See what they're doing. Glad everybody could join us here tonight, though. Appreciate everybody stopping by, and hopefully you guys are having a good time. Seeing everybody's getting active in the chat. Always love seeing that. 124 live viewers. Yeah, High Point might come out tomorrow. I will be broadcasting it. It's going to be like a rebroadcast. I'm just going to get all the demos and rebroadcast the racing. But if I do it, it will be exact same time tomorrow night that I'll get it done. Otherwise, I may just record it and put it out as a video before the race on Wednesday. Honestly, it all just depends on when I get time. My wife is, you know, bless her, she's working so hard to be a good mom right now, and our baby's keeping us up all hours of the day, so we don't get the most sleep, and because of that, we don't really get to control kind of our schedule. It's when we can get some sleep, we do, and so that's why I'm not going to fully commit to actually having High Point come out tomorrow evening, but I'll try my best, and we'll have an announcement tomorrow at some point if I will be broadcasting it, so just so everybody knows. Someone asked for my first person settings, so I'll show it. Why not? I've always ran FOV at 110. That's just the default. It comes within the game. First person height is 1. First person angle is 25. And I will show you once I load back in. Diffie Smooth Photography. How is the kid and what's her name? Kid's great. She's doing awesome. She is a week and a half old. She'll be 2 weeks on Thursday. And her name is Holly. And our little Holly girl is just the most precious thing ever. Honestly, it's such a cool experience being a dad. Like, everybody always says, like, oh, it's going to be crazy and hectic and you're going to never get any sleep and all that stuff, which is true, but I wouldn't trade it for the world, man. Being a dad is one of the best things I feel like that's ever happened to me in my life, and it's been a really, really fun experience for the first week and a half so far, and can't wait for the many more years of experiences that I get to live with my daughter. And I can't thank you guys all enough for your continued support. I mean, when I did the announcement that we were going to have to delay the broadcast because my wife was going into labor, you guys were so awesome and so supportive, and I really, really appreciate that. And it's because of all you guys and the support that you have for these broadcasts that make it possible for us to live the life that we do and be able to have children at I wouldn't say it's very young age. I mean, people are having children younger than me for sure, but you know, nobody that I'm really close friends with has had kids yet, so I'm just really fortunate to be able to live the life that I do, and a lot of that is because of you guys. So thank you very much, everybody that watches these broadcasts, because you really make a lot of this possible, and I appreciate it. All right. MX2 Race 1 is coming up at Maggiora Park in Italy. It's the Italian Grand Prix and MX Simulator. And it's time to get excited. Who's it going to be between Braden Carter or Tyler Lang, or will Colby Eaglin sneak up and pick up a win? Can Isaiah Dickerson turn his fortunes around? Does Payson Johnson have a win in him here tonight? A lot of questions begging to be answered. I'm going to find out. Loading into the game takes forever since JLV scrammed every pack. Well, JLV didn't do it. He made it possible that you could scram files because so many people were ripping models and stuff out of people's skins packs, so made it so that it's impossible to rip SAFs anymore. Well, I'm not going to say that because I'm sure somebody's figured out a way, but regardless, it makes load times excruciatingly long. It wasn't this bad when I started streaming. I mean, I started streaming Nationals back in 2013, and honestly, I could load in no problem with every skin on the gate, never time out, so it is what it is, and I apologize for the delay there, but we're getting ready to go. Where is Mr. Braden Carter with those red plates? There he is on the number 18. Like I said, Tyler Lang will also be running the red plates. Let's see if we can find him. Nope, not in time, but that's okay, because it is time to go racing in Italia. It's the Italian Grand Prix in MX Simulator. It is the MX2 division. It is round 5 of the Race Factor Gaming Grand Prix Championship, and it is live here on Starter Systems TV. So everybody, grab yourself a cold beverage, pull up a chair, enjoy some great MX Simulator action here tonight at Majora Park, because you won't want to miss a second of this action. We're going 30 minutes plus 2 laps right now. As soon as we get loaded in, there we go. And they're already off and running as we get underway. It looks like Colby Eaglin is riding a 125, actually. Let's see what happens there. But into the first corner, it's a land rush. It looked like it might have been a Yamaha. It's actually going to be the 260 of Isaiah Dickerson picking up that that Race Tech Pole Shot Award on the MV Films machine. But it is Zoe Cross, the Yamaha, that got to the corner first. He just ran a little bit wide, and he settles in right there into second. Tyler Lang up here in third, and not running his skins, I guess. I'm not sure what's going on there. The battle up front is already hot and heavy. Zoe Cross trying to put the pressure on Dickerson as everybody funnels in here. We also have Trent Adams on the 22 with a good start. Bryce Whelan, he's also on a 125. So I wonder if Lang was going to run a 125 as well, and just at the last minute maybe loaded the wrong setup or something and just wrong skins. I have no idea what happened there. Either way, kind of funny to see how many people have 125s right now. But Zoe Cross trying to put the pressure on Dickerson out front. Dickerson, Cross, Lang, Adams, Whelan, Alexander, Hillman, Magnetti, Hans, Hewen, Siebold, Burns, Johnson, Post, Cavacuti, and then your joint points leader, Braden Carter. So Tyler Lang getting a much, much better start than his championship combatant here. Braden Carter going down the inside, trying to get around Cavacuti. They're going to go bar to bar. See if Carter gets the power down on the inside. He does, but Cavacuti rips around the outside. Carter takes over that position, and he's got a long haul ahead of him as Dickerson over the big whipper jump out front. Some of these guys getting sideways. Whelan getting upside down. Adams. See, let's just sit here and watch. Let's just revel. Oh, we got a front flipper. Somebody clipped someone else's rear wheel there. I'm not sure if he landed it. Oh, dirty. Absolute filth there on the Cowie. And we got some people getting sideways. A little toss and turns. Oh, the Suzuki was backwards there. I don't know who that was. I'm going to go find these people. Little dualies action there. Nice stuff. Look at that. Back in the pack, too. More guys getting turned. 78 was Hubbard. Oh, right off the back, too. Even those guys getting sideways. I love to see it. All right, who was it that... was it Owen Hillman, maybe, on the Cowie that was getting upside down? There's someone on a Suzuki that was just backwards. Rasmus Balzer, maybe? I think it was Tyron Tomich, if I'm honest with you, because it seems like those colors were the ones that came up, but I don't know. Those guys are upside down. It's crazy. Oh, and we got a new leader. Zoe Cross has gone to the front. And we have lost Isaiah Dickerson somewhere, so Dickerson has gone down, and it's given Cross on the 56 MXLocker.com ride the early lead here. MC Andy Williams dropping off $279 Canadian dollars. Love these live streams. Keep up the good commentary. I love your donations. I will keep up these live streams as long as people are here and enjoying them like you are, buddy. So I really appreciate the dono. Again, as always, you guys can check down in the description below. There's a link to our merchandise site as well if you want to get some SYS t-shirts or mugs, hoodies, tank tops. Rep the brand. helps us out a little bit and gets our name out there a little bit more as well. I'd really appreciate it if you guys would buy a shirt or two. But back to this battle. It is Cross with the lead, and Lang trying to settle in quickly into second and go after Cross out front. Zoe Cross leading the Grand Prix for the first time this year, and seems none too uncomfortable. He looks perfectly fine out front and did a nice job of applying pressure to Dickerson early, so that Dickerson must have made a mistake there. Cross took full advantage of it, and now he's leading here at Majora. Let's see how much time he's gaining per lap as we go to take a look at the lap times here. 2 flat 0.7 to a 2 flat 0.8, so nothing in it between these two out front. Only 1/10 of a second last time by. Lang has got the bit between his teeth, trying to get this points lead back. 2:01.1 on a 125 for Bryce Whelan. I can't believe a 125 actually works so well on this track with all the hills and stuff. That's insane. 2:01.6 Adams, he's getting out of shape, and there goes Dickerson around the outside of him. Mason Johnson's back here, 2:01.6. But Jeremy Siebold coming down the hill, Riley Hewen. And here's Braden Carter right in the midst of this battle here. Let's take a look. He's got Hewen, Siebold, and I think that's Magnetti just off the front of these guys. Shout out to Kyler Hockey dropping off $2 in the chat. Thanks, buddy. Appreciate that. He says, "Hey, you," and he's got the pair dancer. Fun stuff. Oh, Rider down. And that may have, well, no, it was not Hewen. So who is that just went down? We'll have to go back and take a look. But Hewen's right here on the 335. Braden Carter's found his way up inside of the top 10. Oh, and look at that move. Look at that line cutting across the inside. He goes up into 9th. Beautiful work there. Get a good indication of where these guys are trying to make up time on the racetrack here early on. What lines they're trying to go into. Where there's options as he's trying to go to the outside, and he gets into the back of Magnetti. Must not have been expecting the big check up there, but Magnetti was committed to that middle rut, and Carter must have not seen it coming. Just sent it in deep going to that outside line, right over the back of him, and down he goes, but he does get up ahead of Siebold. Siebold was the rider that was down with the Glizzy Gulper, number 339. So that's a bummer for Carter. Meanwhile, Trent Adams, side by side with Payson Johnson, gonna lose a spot there, so Johnson finds his way up into the 4th spot, and Dickerson was just down again. So Isaiah Dickerson running into a bit of struggles here. Not what the 260 wanted after hole-shotting this race. Still Zoa Cross out front doing a fabulous job with the race lead right now. It's not heated any time away to Tyler Lang just yet. Lang trying to go to work from behind though. Close this gap down. And Lang has really just been the epitome of consistency this year in this GP championship. Hasn't been the guy that's winning every single moto and dominating gate to checkered or anything along those lines, but he's been up front a lot. Seconds, thirds, fourths, wins occasionally. It's been other people winning the Grand Prix, but it's been Tyler Lang reaping all the benefits points-wise, and that's why he still shares the red plate. So his next project is to get around Zoa Cross for the lead, and if he can do this early on, it may set him up really well, I should say, going down the stretch, because Braden Carter is so much further back in this race. Carter's got a lot of work to do, and if Lang can take over the lead now, set sail at the front, and maybe win this thing, he has given himself a huge advantage points-wise as he applies all this pressure to Zoa Cross. Got a little hiccup there on the wall jump. Cross checks in again, still leading on to lap number 5. There they go around the sequence file barricade onto the start straight through this first turn complex, and it seems like both of them are taking very similar racing lines, and there's a mistake out of Cross. Zoa Cross stands it up, and there goes Tyler Lang into the race lead. Now can Zoa Cross answer? 56 machine has looked really good here early on. And lap time wise, he is not laying over whatsoever to Tyler Lang as these guys swinging outside of the yellow at Cherry stakes, trying to find some smooth lines coming down the elevator shaft. Oh man, Zoe Cross ripping those two corners. And he's got Lang right back in his sights again. Zoe Cross came to play today, and Majora has a peek down the inside of the top of the hill, but Lang goes deeper and holds him off. Same line, same plays, Cross trying to go to that far inside, but Lang gets to it better and opens up a small gap now on the 56. The question was, can Zoe Cross respond after being passed for the lead? And the answer so far is yes. He is not letting go of the number 49. He doesn't care if he's got those red backgrounds on his bike. He wants to go out here and win this Grand Prix at all costs. And he will make Tyler Lang work for it if he has to. Love the whips these guys throw off that jump. Just so smooth. It's like the sky shot at Unadilla a little bit, where it's just got that perfect lip to float you out. Checking in again, though, after that mistake by Cross. Let's see if Lang improved his time. He did not. He actually ran a 201.2, and Cross obviously with that 202.5 because he had a mistake. But man, look at the lead these two are already establishing. Third is still fairly close, but top 10 so spread apart already. Board here with Cross for a little bit and see where he's gaining time, where he's losing time. Down the elevator shaft into the center part of the circuit again. He goes inside here into this rut. And I think that will work if it was a little deeper. He's just trying to throw it in a little bit too hard there. Cost him some time. He's a second and a half down now. Now losing more time, so Zoe Cross. Oh man, he almost went down. Whew. Nose heavy there. Those things will be a killer. Payson Johnson up into third now. Whoa, look at that double down the hill. Huge line for Payson Johnson. Think this kid's feeling the flow? I think so. This number 351 has taken over the outdoor series by storm to start the year. Of course, won the opening round of the Nationals at WW Ranch, and when we see tomorrow night what happens at High Point, whether or not he's able to hold on to that lead, but Johnson has been quite impressive rider to start the year, coming out of the amateur ranks, obviously with that triple digit on his bike. Not someone you'd expect to be immediately as fast as he's been, but he has been electrifying. Not only running really quick times in qualifying, but being one of the fastest on the racetrack over a 30-minute plus 2-lap moto. Finds himself in third here early on, and just at a 58.9 to cut it down to 4 seconds between himself and Zoe Cross. He is chopping away this lead slowly but surely, and riding so well in the process. Isaiah Dickerson still back here in fourth, holding strong. Trent Adams running in fifth. Magnetti has Siebel right behind him. Siebel goes inside and then is going to have the cut under here. He's got an easy pass there because Magnetti just got the apexes wrong. But Siebel, he moves up into sixth. Magnetti drops back to seventh. Jonathan Alexander coming up the hill in eighth. Here is Bryce Whelan on the 125 still in ninth. And Braden Carter is down here in the 10 spot. So Carter trying to figure things out a little bit more. got to get going. He was with that Seabolt battle a little bit earlier on. And Seabolt has pretty much set sail away from this group, and he's now up in that 6th spot. Bryce Whelan and Jonathan Alexander in a heated battle. I mean, the one thing about the 125s is Whelan's going to come in inside here, and he might make that pass. He does. One thing about 125s is you can ride them so hard. You can already ride a 250F pretty hard in this game, but some of these guys that are a little bit more on the wild side and have the ability to really push the envelope on these bikes, you can ride a 125 so dang fast in these outdoor tracks, especially ones that kind of are a little bit more high speed. The technical ones are tougher because those 250Fs have so much torque out of the corners, but when you can carry momentum and speed like you can on this track, I guess it makes sense why a 125 would do well. Braden Carter trying to peek down the inside though of Whelan, and Whelan just sending it through that last corner, but then jumps off the track, so Carter takes advantage of that to go through into 8th. Now he's got to try to go get Magnetti. There is Seabolt up the road, though, like I was saying. It's got kind of away from Braden Carter, while Carter was ahead of Seabolt at one point. Oh, Zoa Cross is starting to go backwards a little bit. He is down now in the 4th spot, I believe this is. So Zoa Cross running into some problems. Allowed Dickerson and Payson Johnson to go through, but Dickerson actually passed Payson Johnson, so something happened to the 351. Not sure what, but he's definitely lost a little bit of time, and Dickerson was down, actually got into Owen Hillman, Payson Johnson's teammate there, so Hillman just goes off the track. Not sure if that was contact that happened on the table or when they were already landed there, but Hillman was down, as was Dickerson, so Cross gets back through into 3rd. Dickerson has to remount another charge yet again. He has been so misfortunate here. So Cross back up into the 3 spot. Johnson now moves into 2nd, and it's still Tyler Lang pulling away out front. And while we're here, halfway into this moto, 15 minutes down, just about 14 minutes ago now, I should say. So 16 minutes down, 14 minutes left to go. We're going to give you guys a quick top 20 rundown, and this one is brought to you by the folks at RaceFactorGaming.com. They had a week off last week. There was no racing, GPs or nationals. I think that was probably due to Independence Day week, essentially in the U.S. Not sure entirely. Oh, as Lang goes down just as I start talking about this. So Lang is down. Let's see if he gets up still in the lead. Here comes Johnson. No, Payson Johnson's going to take over the lead, and we'll come back to that top 20 rundown here in just a minute because we got a battle at the front of the field here in Italy. Wow, what a weird spot for Lang to go down. It was not a technical section whatsoever. It's just a start straight, tucked the front wheel, and slashed his head onto the ground. Immediate fall-off crash. And off to the races we go. Payson Johnson takes over the race lead now with 17 minutes down, 13 minutes and a couple laps left to go. Let's see if he can set sail with the lead, or does Tyler Lang respond here? See if Lang's gaining any time. We'll go on board here with the MB Films rider. Nice line there, keeping it close. Under a second there to our race leader, Payson Johnson. These guys all funneling that outside now. Let's see, do they go outside again here? They do, they both go outside. I thought Lang might settle into that middle rut. Oh man, lap traffic galore as Lang just scoots on by. Makes a couple passes, nicely done. Oh no, oh my goodness, there's riders down all over the track. Coming down the hill. These guys try to stay far right, it looks like, on that jump to just get that lowest line possible. And over the finish line jump we go again. You can see that Lang has lost about 10 seconds off his normal pace right now. And Johnson just ran a 2 flat .8. So Johnson looking like he is feeling the flow out front. But does Tyler Lang have a response? At the moment, the answer is no, but that does not mean it will be completely lost. Ooh, there's a rider down, and that's going to allow Lang to close right back up. Johnson, I think, a little wayward there, trying to avoid the lapped rider, and oof, my goodness, Lang riding on the top of that tough block there. Fortunate not to go down, but he is putting some serious heat on Payson Johnson out front. Let's see if he gets the bottom of the hill a little bit cleaner. Swings to this outside. Not quite close enough. More lap traffic. Zoe Cross not too close behind these guys, so it's really a 1v1 battle at the front. Look at this line from Lang, cuts across. Almost gets a line there on to the side of Payson Johnson, but Johnson shuts the door and goes far inside. So that middle rut there looks like it's developing as well, because Johnson just started using it. He was not using it a lap before. Man, oh man, Lang was so close again, but just his efforts were thwarted. Love that line that he's taken in the back there, though, where he cuts across that inside roller and kind of hops over some of the ruts and lands on a braking bump. Really effective if you can do it consistently. Lang a little short on the table there. Payson Johnson coming through, 20 minutes down, checks in again out front. And we'll try to skim through this top 20 rundown real quick. RaceFactorGaming.com. Head over there today to check out these racing series and start playing yourself. But it's Payson Johnson, Panini Motorsports number 351, currently leading the Italian Grand Prix in the MX2 division. He has a narrow gap over Tyler Lang on the MV Films number 49 points leader. Wouldn't really like to see Johnson take these points away from him. Johnson's sitting third in the championship, so Lang's got to do something about that. Isaiah Dickerson's in a heated battle for third right now because Jeremy Siebold has caught up to him. And yes, Jeremy Siebold is on a different team, this Glizzy Gulper team. He's not on Panini Motorsports anymore. In fact, he messaged me right before the racing was about to start tonight and told me to go get his skins because he would be on a different team. So he left Panini. Not sure what happened there. Wasn't sure if it was mutual or anything along those lines, didn't say. But peculiarly enough, he's on a new team and racing 250s. Is our 450 Supercross champion from this year. Putting some pressure onto the back of Dickerson. So here is fifth, Trent Adams, QM122, just ahead of the 56 MXLocker.com of Zoe Cross, who is in sixth. And Cross was leading this race at one point, but he's dropped a little bit further back. No harm, no foul, just gets around Trent Adams, though, who is down at the bottom of the hill. Braden Carter moves up to sixth on the number 18 QM1 machine. Adams drops back to seventh. Oh, Hubbard was in eighth, but he's gone down, so Colby Eaglin moves into eighth on the Panini Motorsports number 57. Another one of those guys out here that's racing a 125 and doing very well at it. So he runs in the eighth spot. Ninth is Hubbard, BlastMX.com number 75. And Alexander was down in 10th. Bryce Whelan just landed on him. He's down with Magnetti, so Jonathan Alexander gets up. He's still 10th on the number 89. No, but he just went down, so Magnetti goes through on the 107 BPC machine. He's now in the 10 spot. 11th, Nathan Prin, the rider out of France on the Panini Motorsports number 130. And 12th goes to Bryce Whelan on the 125. He's on Panini as well. There's Panini riders everywhere in this 250 class. Dylan Cavacuti trying to get down his inside to go into 12th. And he will because there's a rider down on the outside, so Cavacuti up to 12th, I think. Yeah, Alexander 13th. Tyron Tomich on the Connect Visual 311 is in 14th. 15th for Whelan now. 16th is Ethan Gerst on the Rival decal number 260. 17th for Kevin Gonzalez on the Takatoji number 3. 18th Riley Hewen on the CV number 335. 19th Benjamin Saves on the 54. And 20th Colt Hans on the BlastMX.com. Number 821? Looks like, yeah. Luke Sullivan right behind him, though, and that is a top 20 rundown brought to you by RaceFactorGaming.com. Close battle out front again. Lang trying to get down the inside. Almost contact there. Showed him a wheel, but Johnson held it on a little bit longer on the outside. And here's that line. Lang loves it. Just can't quite get his nose in there. And then has to step in right behind him there, going into that inside rut. Amazing they didn't touch tires. Look at that hop in the rut line there for Lang. He's riding really smoothly here. And smooth Tyler Lang is always a dangerous Tyler Lang is pacing Johnson, has a huge one in the downhill rollers. Oh man, he just augered in so hard. Of course, fortunately it's a video game, and now Dickerson goes down behind him, so Siebold just went through. There goes not only Zoe Cross, but here's Bryton Carter trying to get down the inside. Carter is going to complete that pass. No, look at Dickerson fighting back around the outside. Carter had all the opportunity in the world there to shut the door, and instead Dickerson fights back. So it's Cross, Dickerson, Carter, 4, 5, 6, I believe now. Here comes Dickerson trying to get an inside line on Zoe Cross, but just doesn't get there. Bryton Carter licking his chops, trying to get a couple more positions. This would help him hugely with Tyler Lang out towards the front now. Oh, Carter tucks the front wheel. Oh, there's the move. Dickerson gets to the inside of Cross and around the outside of him to the bottom of the hill, gets the pass done. Dickerson to 4th, Cross back to 5th. Bryton Carter still lurking right there in 6th. Looking to take advantage of these guys here at all costs, but it is time winding down here. 26 minutes just about into this thing. So we're looking at a little over 4 minutes and 2 laps left to go. Carter looks like he's really trying hard to make something happen here on Zoe Cross, but just can't quite get it done. It's crazy as spread out as the top 3 were earlier on, how kind of close it still is. I mean, Lang has a nice healthy lead, but 3 through 6 I should say right now, are just basically running nose to tail. It's anybody's race here. Siebold just off the front of these guys in 3rd. Payson Johnson not too far ahead of them, and then Tyler Lang has put a lap rider between himself and this group as Johnson checks in over the finish line jump again on the lap 14. Siebold 3rd, Dickerson 4th, Cross 5th, Carter 6th. This battle still raging between Zoe Cross and Isaiah Dickerson. Look at this inside move, Zoe Cross. Nicely done. No response there whatsoever from Dickerson, and he's actually going to get past. Bryton Carter taking full advantage of it to swoop in from the outside, and he moves up to 5th. Now he makes another mistake, and Dickerson fights him off to get the pass back. So Carter just cannot make these passes stick right now, and that is hurting him. Inside, outside. Oh, man, Dickerson almost slid into Carter's line there, and they both would have been down, but Dickerson fortunate enough to kind of hook and stand it back up. Carter now trying to go after Zoe Cross just ahead of him. They're going to go bar to bar. Dualies, trilies almost in the background as Cross gets absolutely cross-righted down the hill and goes down. So Dickerson goes up into 5th. Carter now finds himself in 4th, and he's trying to go after Siebold ahead of him. Can't forget that Payson Johnson's still right off the front of these guys. Tyler Lang has a big enough gap right now that he's quite comfortable with the lead. But what is going on back here, 2 through 5 essentially, is all very important towards the championship hunt. especially when it pertains to where can Braden Carter get to. He's got a wild Isaiah Dickerson right behind him, putting some pressure on him. Dickerson stays a little bit lower on the table, but honestly, seems like Carter is pulling that gap back out a little bit. It was a little closer than it is right now, about half the track ago. Trent Adams and now Zoe Cross battling it out with Trent Adams. Good battle here between a couple of Yamaha teams that essentially mimic real-life designs. You got that Club MX look from Zoe Cross's MXLocker.com Yamaha as he makes the move on Trent Adams' QM1 Star Racing Yamaha look-alike bike. So Cross moves back around him. Here's Colby Eagland, P8. Hubbard is 9th, and Nathan Prin just went down, but he is still 10th. Just kind of looking at some of the guys through the field here. Oh, Braden Carter just moved up into 2nd, so something happened with Payson Johnson. But Braden Carter and Tyler Lang are now 1 and 2, 21 seconds in between them, but losing the minimal amount of points possible if he's not going to win this race is Braden Carter, as he now runs into 2nd position and immediately goes down as soon as he gets there. Huge kicker sends him up and over the bars. Playing with fire a little bit there by hopping over those ruts every lap, and it finally bit him. He drops back to 4th now as Siebold got by, as did Payson Johnson. So time has expired, and Lang would have just got the 2-lap board as he came over the finish line jump. So Payson Johnson's still 2nd, Siebold still 3rd, Carter still 4th, and this is probably the battle you want to keep an eye on, because championship-wise, this would be huge for Carter. Siebold not in it at all, so he's just playing spoiler here in terms of points. Kind of interesting listening to these guys that going up these long uphills, they're not really trying to rev the bike out too much. They're kind of letting it lug, going maybe a gear higher than normal, just letting it kind of up the hill. Another big mistake there from Carter. Siebold's starting to get away now, but lap traffic literally everywhere. Carter just hopping over a lapped rider. And Payson Johnson just went down. So Payson Johnson drops out of 2nd again, and that puts Siebold up into the 2 spot. Carter now finds himself in 3rd, and Tyler Lang probably has no idea what's going on behind him, but it has been utter chaos back here as these guys have tried to sort out these positions. Oh, and Carter almost went down again. Gets back up, still in 3rd. Johnson, Dickerson, Adams, Cross, Eagland, Tomich, Gerst. How about this Ethan Gerst, Jacob Hubbard battle going on right now? White flag waves for your leader out front. So Tyler Lang looking like he's in a very comfortable position to win this one, and in doing so pull his tie in the championship with Braden Carter out to a singular points lead again. Hubbard putting all kinds of pressure onto the back wheel of Ethan Gerst here. just looking, patiently waiting for an opportunity, but he's going to run out of time if he doesn't make something happen. He was sizing it up right there, but just tucked the front wheel a little bit, so Gerst gets some breathing room, tries to go after Tyron Tomic. It is the white flag lap for all these guys, so last chance to make a difference, and Carter's dropped all the way back to 5th now. Dickerson got around him as well, so Braden Carter in danger here. He's got his teammate Trent Adams right behind him. Can't imagine Carter's going to get passed by Adams here teammate-wise. I think they're probably going to work together a little bit. But it is the last lap, so you never know how these things play out. Dickerson getting nice and upside down there. It seems like a lot of guys are going off the track as well, so we'll have to keep an eye on cuts. It's a very difficult track to stay on the track just because there are so many hills, so you go off a little bit and it's a long way down. Johnson trying to close up on Siebold, but Siebold looks like he's got this thing pretty wrapped up in second. And speaking of wrapped up, Tyler Lang, man oh man, talk about a statement ride here. Took a little bit of time to get around Zoe Cross early on, but once he did, set sail out at the front, and he's going to reap the rewards here as he comes through into the final corner. And MX2 Race 1 belongs to Tyler Lang at the Italian Grand Prix. Jeremy Siebold looks like he will take second, and Payson Johnson, barring a fall, will get third. Dickerson 4th, Braden Carter 5th, Trent Adams 6th, Zoe Cross trying to come home here in 7th. But may still have an opportunity here to try to go after Trent Adams late. Definitely close this gap down. Oh, and then tucks the front wheel a little bit there, so it costs him some time. Oh, and then, whoo, man, Zoe Cross was backwards. Oh my goodness gracious, that was insane. It is Dickerson following Payson Johnson home in 4th. Johnson ends up 3rd. 5th goes to Carter, 6th goes to Adams, 7th goes to Cross, who just got absolutely upside down on this jump. Colby England looks like he is going to finish up in the 8th spot, no problemo. Tomic is in 9th, Gerst is in 10th. Nathan Prynn is in 11th, and he's still charging. Hubbard, he's in 12th, but he was just down. Dylan Cavacuti was also down. We got Magnetti in here. We also have Hewen on the 335. Hewen's trying to get down the inside of Magnetti, but Magnetti fighting back around the outside, holds the position. So Nathan Prynn just landed big table. See if Hubbard's got anything gnarly for us. Playing it safe. These guys just trying to get some points, get across the line. Magnetti and Hewen doing a little flick of their own. Oh, Hewen's going to try something in this last corner. He gets off the back of the wall jump and just carries his momentum. Let's see if he sends it in deep into the final corner. So much speed, but Magnetti holds the position. Trevor Burns is going to come through in 16th. 17th, Jonathan Alexander. And 18th on the final man on the lead lap, Kevin Gonzalez, Takatoji number 3. Luke Sullivan and Bryce Whelan finishing a lap down. We'll wait for cuts to see if that's where they stay. But here come the cuts as Kevin Gonzalez checks in. No, I'm sorry, no cuts just yet, so we will wait and see. Unofficially, Tyler Lang has won this moto. Like I said, we'll just wait for cuts to confirm it. But also, 5-minute break coming up, so if you have any questions you'd like to ask me about this game, life, whatever, be sure to ask them now and I'd be happy to answer them. All right, so let's look at cuts. Looks like Cross got around Trent Adams on cuts for 6th. And that was it. Only change inside of the top 20 for points. Tyler Lang picks up the win here. MX2 Race 1 at the MXSGP of Italy in Maggiora. Now he's doing a little bit of supercross action over here. Yes, Diffie, I will definitely give you guys a whole shot next moto. Classic Canadian motocross announcers. Coster and Travers just, they crush it up there with the Canadian moto. Oh, 360, Luke Sullivan? Ah, didn't land it. Kevin Cutie comes over top and just dives on in. It's a good camera to hang out and watch. What's this, top of the hill? 5, 6, 7. Majora is such a beautiful facility, in my opinion at least. Nice place. Want to stay here, and if anybody gets absolutely fresh on the tabletop on stream. Yes, Zoa, I love that whip, man. That was huge. That was gnarly. Even Molten wants to know, is MX Sim free? No, it is not. It is $42. Head over to mxsimulator.com today. You can try out the demo to first see if you like the game. But honestly, if you play the demo, you'll probably think this game sucks. It is so hard to learn. It's a very difficult game to learn. But once you get used to it, it is one of the most fun games you'll ever play. You ask any of these pros that are racing here today, the reason they put in so much time to get good at the game is because it's a dang fun game to get good at and play well. I remember when I was semi-decently fast at the game and made it a lot more fun to play than it is now sometimes when I'm just absolute dumpster fire at the game, but I digress. Ooh, a little backwards action there. Someone on a 125 might have been Eagland. Nicely done. Oh, someone's sending a Cavacutie. And then Zoa Cross getting backwards there. And then we got a double underflip. Land that. Oh, I think that was Luke Sullivan. And then another backwards whip turn 360. Thanks, Leon, for the congrats on the baby. Yeah, stay here. First lap of Moto 2. I think first lap of Moto 2, I'll just go to that camera that's actually on the table. It's a little bit more zoomed in, and we'll see you guys just getting cranked. Be really cool. Nice whip there out of, not sure who that was, actually. Kellen, my mic favoring the left ear cup? Really? What? I don't know what to tell you guys. I'm sitting right in front of my mic like normal. Unfortunately, I can't zoom in because this is just a camera. If I went here and then floated my way over there, we could get a little bit closer, which I suppose I could do. Nice. Is there a better camera, maybe? It's too far away, isn't it? Yeah, I think this camera here is about as best as it's gonna get. Really? You guys are having the same audio problem? I don't know what to tell you guys. I'm really confused. I can see that on... Hello, hello. No, that doesn't work. I can see that on the application it looks like the left audio file is a little bit gnarlier. I'm not sure. Hold on. Check, check, check. Is that better? Hello? Hello, 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 hello. I think that fixed it, because on my side it looks like it's a little bit better, but not sure. Let's see. What questions have I missed? 450 overall. Who have I got? I don't. Leclerc, I guess, because he's just been so dang good. Sorry about that, guys. I don't know what was wrong with it. The only thing I did was unplug it and plug it back in, which, to be honest, fixes most things anyway, so. All right, sighting lap, I believe, for MX2 Race 2 coming out right now. Yep, lineup check. This is going to be race 2 of the MX2 division going out there right now. And all these guys looking to finish off the day well. Can Tyler Lang go 1-1? Can Braden Carter claw some points back after he lost a big chunk to Tyler Lang in that first moto? So parade lap right now. Just letting these guys get one last quick look at the track. Of course, the track just reset. So those deep ruts that we saw at the end of the moto, no longer there. It's all the way back to that clean track that we saw at the beginning. So that can be a little tricky sometimes for these guys because their brain was in that deep, loamy, harder, bigger bump mode. All right, folks, let's see who's going to get the jump this time. It is MX2 Race 2. It's live on SYS TV right now. Maggiora Park in Italy. Let's drop that gate. Oh, huge jump. Payson Johnson times the gate perfectly, and the 351 leads him into the first corner. He's going to get that Racetech.com whole shot. Payson Johnson getting it done. Braden Carter settles in right behind him, though. Good start for him on the 18. Use that inside to his advantage. Payson Johnson, great start, though. That's what happens when you time the gate, though. I'll tell you what. Gets the whole shot, and he is off and running. So Jacob Hubbard's back here. We got Cavacuti. I think Benjamin saves there on the 54. Nathan Prin. Tyler Lang is getting stood up on the corner there by Jonathan Alexander on the outside. The three of, I always want to say Dennis Fjellberg, but it's actually the three of Kevin Gonzalez mixed in there. Down the inside, Lang trying to get around Gonzalez. He gets it done. He's going after Alexander. Alexander's got Benjamin saves just in front of him as they go nearly 3 wide off the top healer. Oh, Lang whipping across the track into Alexander, who had to jump wide to avoid him. Oh, and then big crash for Jonathan Alexander going down the hill. Meanwhile, up front, battle is on. Johnson and Carter for the lead already. Two guys that really, really would love a moto win right here. Points-wise, Payson Johnson needs a lot to kind of claw his way back into this championship fight. But Braden Carter lost a big old chunk of points to Tyler Lang in the first moto, coming across the line in 5th compared to Lang's victory. So even he would like some turnarounds here. So, coming to the end of lap 1, and I totally forgot I was going to watch the sky shot here. Whoa, whoops. All right, let's see. Maybe I'll watch the second lap just because I missed so much on the first lap. Oh, someone there on the Swap Moto live bike getting cranked. Woohoo! Tri-leads, baby. Let's go. These guys are upside down. Love it. Nice. And Magnetti with a nice flick at the end. Everybody's so close still. I'll watch it again next lap because it's just so fun to watch the sky shot jump. Whoa, Payson Johnson, internet issues. That is internet problems for Payson Johnson. You go that like kind of invis and start kind of hovering a little bit. Oh, and it might have just caught Braden Carter out. He just completely swapped sideways on landing. He may have crashed on his own, but that seems like it may have been internet related right there. Man, that's a bummer for Carter, who was in a great spot early on, and now he finds himself behind Lang. Oh boy, if that is internet related, that is going to be Really tough to deal with there with Payson Johnson out front. So Johnson, 3 minutes into this one, already pulling out a nice little lead, but obviously he has that lead essentially because Braden Carter has gone down out of second. And it just seemed like Payson Johnson's little internet blip there and then coming back right in front of Carter may have caused that. Be curious to hear from Carter after this race to see if that's the case or not. Getting his speed on through the rollers up to the top of the hill. And we'll watch the sky shot again, lap 2 around. We kind of get an indication where everybody is as well on the track. Who got a good start and who did not. Payson Johnson, little flick out front. Big time air there for, I think that was Prin in the 3 spot. Lang and Carter nearly side by side back there, 4-5. Cavacuti, a nice flick, a little nice job there for Siebold on the 39. Zoe Cross got sideways. Ooh, nice. Oh, big one. I think that was maybe, I don't know who that was on a Husky. Oh, man, I could watch this all day. This is just so cool watching these guys like float through the air. Luke Sullivan. Oh, Tomic upside down on the 311 Suzuki. I think that was him. Maybe I got it wrong again. Let's go back and find who that Suzuki was. Again, Suzuki's just not disappointing me whatsoever. Actually, you know what? I think it was Tomasunis. I wasn't sure if it was Tomasunis or not. I think it was. It was Balzer again. I exclaim it was Tyron Tomic, but it was Rasmus Balzer again getting upside down on the second lap of the race, and I apologize that I again got it wrong. But Rasmus Balzer being a legend here tonight, throwing huge ones. Nathan Prin and Hubbard trying to settle a dispute for second. Inside move for Prin. Crafty Frenchman. Using some lines that nobody else is early in the race, but oh, just can't get the power down. Oh, but he might get the pass done anyway. He does. In a second goes Prin. Panini Motorsports number 130. So it's a Panini Motorsports 1-2 now as Prin moves into second, trying to run down his teammate Payson Johnson out front. Got Ethan Gurst, Tyler Lang, Braden Carter. And championship-wise, this is a good battle to watch between Lang and Carter, but this is not the day Carter, I think, was hoping to have whatsoever. Especially with a good start in that second moto. It was all going so well for him. Oh, might size up a move on Lang. Just showing a wheel there. Nothing doing just yet. Go on board with Carter and see what's going on ahead of him there with that Lang and it's Gurst ahead of them. Yeah, Ethan Gurst battle. Up and over the race tech table. Again, kind of right in the center of the track here. This track just does such a great job of utilizing the hills all over the place here. Of course, it's a fairly mountainous part of Italy, just south of the Swiss and French Alps up there. Oh, inside. Lang, oh, Verzelis gets into Ethan Gurst, and they both went down. Got a bird's eye view of that thing on board there with Braden Carter, and Carter gets a nice twofer there because of it. And Hubbard got back around Nathan Prin, so something happened to Prin on the 130. And Hubbard taking advantage of that. 8-second lead. Payson Johnson 8 minutes into this race as he continues to try to extend it from the rest of the field. Nathan Prynne, who had moved into second, must have just had something go wrong that last time by 2:03.9. Not a lap that he was accustomed to running. So let's see if he can close back up here onto Hubbard and make this move again for second, making a Panini Motorsports 1-2 again. Down the elevator shaft, and then up into this big bowl corner restaurant up there at the top of the hill just ahead of them. Prynne trying his best. He is taking all kinds of different lines. He is not staying in that same rut that Hubbard is going into. He's looking for some fresh dirt to bank off of. Whoa, we got some server lag. We have got some definite server lag right there, people. That was big time. It looks like nobody else in the server said it, so maybe it was just on my end that I saw it, but that was everybody slowing down, not just Nathan Prynne. You could see that everybody just kind of went slow motion there for a second. Oh, Prynne down, tucks the front wheel on corner exit. He will not get passed by Tyler Lang. What happened to... I'm an idiot. Never mind. Braden Carter had already gotten around Nathan Prynne. So Prynne went down. Carter moves up to third. Set sail after Hubbard. And at the moment, at least, Carter doing a very good job to claw some of these points back against Tyler Lang that he lost in that first moto. But really, this time around, it's kind of Carter or Lang's fault. Lang was ahead of Braden Carter and a little bit overzealous early in the race, jumping to the inside of Ethan Gerst in a tricky kind of anthill single corner. Took both of them down, and now Lang losing points to Carter in the process because of it. Battle back here between Cavacuti and Gerst. Anybody else mention that server lag? Nope. Just me then, I guess. Oh, Cavacuti, a mistake. Gerst tries to get to the inside, but gives up that inside in the next corner and then uses the outside to hold the position. So very nicely done there for the 260, but then tucks the front wheel and loses 2 spots. How quickly it can come apart. Listen to the 125 just sing here for a little bit. Colby Eaglin ripping this thing around. .203.2 Colby Eagland got treated to a nice little side-by-side battle there with Dylan Cavacuti, who threw a nice whip and then almost made a nice pass back after Eagland passed him. And little freight train brewing here. Cavacuti, Ethan Gerst, and looks like Zoa Cross back there on the 56 all together. 3 different lines, and Cross is taking the best line, so he makes the pass there on Gerst. Then makes a mistake, so Gerst trying to get him back up the hill. Not quite. Cross holds it steady. Creeping up on the halfway point of race 2 already. And this is a terrific battle as though Cross is trying to work his way forward and have a good finish here today. 6th in the first moto. Right now just inside of the top 10 here in Moto 2. I think he's running 8th actually, to be fair. Taking down the inside of Cavacuti, who almost looped his Larry, and then dualies almost touching each other in the air. Cavacuti just kind of pooped his jorts there a little bit and let him go. So Cross makes up another position, and next up would be Colby Eaglin if he can get to him. Tyler Lang and Braden Carter now have nobody separating them. So Carter, just as many gifts as he's been given today, he just seems to be coughing it all back as Nathan Print has gotten back around him again. Jacob Hubbard still sits second, and Payson Johnson out front in cruise control already, it seems like. He's got a nice lead going, nobody even close to him. He's kind of on this side of the track by himself anyway, if you look at the map in the upper right-hand corner of your screen. Probably has another 8 seconds to get to lap traffic ahead of him, and he's got a 18-second lead right now. So life is good, except for that mistake right there is not going to help his case whatsoever as I just start talking about him. So Payson Johnson going off the track there, losing a little bit of time, but still comfortably out front. And as we creep up to 15 minutes into this moto, which is the halfway point of the race, we're going to go to another top 20 rundown. And this one is brought to you by MV Films, Motivated Films. MV Films for short, of course. It is run by Jeremy Cohenauer, who also runs RaceFactorGaming.com as the president over there. And MV Films is just a cool place to check out some cool stuff that they do. I think they have a YouTube channel, so you could check them out as well. But they also have this awesome race team that we always talk about in MX Simulators. So if you want to know what it's all about, Motivated Films is the place to go. Oh, Payson Johnson is now actually down. So what the heck is going on here? I just pressed the wrong stupid button again. I always do that when I try to click over. So Johnson lost some time now out front, but he's still leading. Panini Motorsports number 351, still out in front. Second, Jacob Hubbard, VlastMX.com number 75, having a terrific second moto here. He's holding off some championship rivals going on. Back here in third, Braden Carter, QM1 number 18, sharing red plates this round with Tyler Lang on the MV Films number 49. But Lang, after winning the first moto, holds the proverbial points lead, and as he's only 1 spot behind Carter on the racetrack right now, he will definitely leave as the points leader if they stay in these positions. So we'll have to see how that all shakes down as the race continues. Nathan Prynn, Panini Motorsports number 130, sits in the 5 spot. Oh, look at this. 3-rider battle. Cavacuti, Gerst, and Dickerson. Looks like there's number 260 battling it out here. Dickerson trying to peek inside. Come on, give us some dualies. Oh, he cuts off Cavacuti hard and then tosses absolute filth. He was backwards, ladies and gentlefish, but he jumps off the track because he was too hard on the left side of the whip there. And we have some serious chaos going on here. So resetting things, it is Cavacuti in 6th, 7th for Gerst, 8th Shepard, 9th Eaglin, 10th Cross, 11th Dickerson, so he lost 5 spots because of that. 12th is Seabolt, 13th Alexander, 14th is Hewen, 15th Benjamin Save, 16th Tomich, 17th Owen Hillman, 18th Frank Jackson, 19th for Luke Sullivan, and 20th goes to Cooper Hunt. But Trevor Burns right on his heels. That's a top 20 rundown brought to you by the folks at MV Films. Let's go back to that crazy battle going on. Cavacuti, Gerst, oh, inside. Shepard gets the pass done. Gerst trying to fight back around the outside, jumps right back by him. Nicely done there. So Gerst holding strong, Shepard right in the mix, Zoe Cross, Colby Eagland. Looks like we lost Isaiah Dickerson from this group, perhaps. Oh, a mistake from Gerst. Allows Shepard back by and now allows Cross to get around the outside of him. And Cross trying to get around Shepard. 3 different Yamaha teams right here, folks. QM1, MX Locker, and Rival Decal. But you'd swear with how all of them are riding today, they could be teammates because they are all riding so well. So across trying to size up something here on Trent Shepard. Ethan Gerst doesn't want to let these guys go either. Oh, inside move, Gerst. Not able to get it done just yet, though. Another inside move down the hill. This one might work. Just got the rollers a little bit too loftily. Dylan Cavacuti on the 177 is wondering what the heck is going on. And that's another different Yamaha team. There's 4 different Yamaha teams represented right here in this battle. Takatoji leading the group right now. Oh, we got like 3 different whip options, and Zoa Cross slices through them both, and they're 3 wide on the Race Tech roller, now down by the mechanics area. And Zoa Cross will indeed complete that pass. What a job there by Cross to cut between both of them and go from 8th to 6th in one foul swoop. A great pass there. And it puts the MXLocker.com rider at the front of this train, but Shepard's trying to fight back. Cavacuti is wondering, how did he just lose 2 spots without going down? That was intense. Ethan Gerst back there as well, and then off the back is Colby Eaglin on the 125. Oh, mistake there. Almost going down was Zoa Cross, so Trent Shepard closing back up on him. Around the outside, not going to work. Up the inside. No, not going to get that either. Different lines, though. Like to see it. Then carrying so much speed around the outside. Zoa Cross getting nice and frisky over the table. But that's where he went down in the last moto as well, so he's got to be careful coming down those braking bumps. Trent Shepard is putting all kinds of pressure on Zoa Cross right now. Oh, and something happened. Yeah, Zoa Cross went down out of sight there. Just as I switched over. Seabolt, Cavacuti, Shepard, Prin, Hubbard, Lang, Carter, Johnson. So Payson Johnson still leads 20 minutes in. Braden Carter's moved up to 2nd. And Tyler Lang sits in 3rd. Lap time check. 2 flat 0.4 to a 2 flat 0.2 and a 2:01.3. So Johnson's going slower than the people in 2nd and 3rd, but not nearly enough that he would lose the lead. And Carter just made a mistake and slid out, so Tyler Lang is closing this gap down ever so slightly. But does he want to pass him, does Tyler Lang? Because he opens himself up for the opportunity to get into a battle here and maybe go down if he makes the pass on Braden Carter. I think obviously you'd like to finish ahead of him if possible, but got to bite your time here a little bit. .9 seconds, so that gap is kind of steadied out just a little bit. Carter looks like he's figured things out, and the gap to the leader has gone down to 8.9. So Payson Johnson, whether he's struggling with lap traffic or just fell on his own, he's lost a lot of time suddenly. Man, Lang is so good through those S-turns. Closes right back up to Carter. Almost got it under a second there. Rider down on the outside. Lap traffic though. Oh, Carter down again. He crashed there last time too. Braden Carter just does not seem to have the flow in that corner as he went down again. And he coughs up a lot of points right there to Tyler Lang. Finishing behind him in both motos is not what he was hoping to do today. Nathan Prince sits 4th, Hubbard 5th, Shepard 6th, 7th for Seabolt, 8th Cavacuti, 9th Zoa Cross, and Colby Eaglin picking up 2 top 10 finishes as they run on a 125 is mightily impressive. Ethan Gerst 11th, Tyron Tomic is in 12th, Jonathan Alexander is in 13th, 14th Riley Hewen, 15th Luke Sullivan, 16th right there is Benjamin Saves. Stick with this battle for a second because it's a nice close one. Hewen, Sullivan, Saves. Oh, Sullivan getting a little wayward there on the ruts. Very similar to what we saw out of his teammate Carter up the road. Look at Benjamin Save's drive down the hill too. And a nice scrub, both of them over the top of the hill there. Little hiccup in the corner there for Sullivan, dropping down the hill. That's a swing to one side, and this might be the move for Benjamin Saves. No, it's not. Sullivan gets the power back down to the ground there. And we also got to keep an eye out. No, that's a lapped rider behind them. Oh, there was mistakes there. Tomic and Sullivan both missed the finish line jump, so Benjamin Saves jumps over the top of both of them to make that pass. Now setting after Hewen, who's got Jonathan Alexander just ahead of him. Big braking bumps into this corner. Alexander getting all kinds of out of shape and gets back on right in front of Saves. Saves trying to go the long way. Oh, contact, and they both go down. Oh, Saves tried to hold it on around the outside, and it just was a gap that was closing all the time. Alexander gets into him. They both go down. Benjamin Saves getting the worst end of the deal there as he has the fall-off crash. Unfortunate there. Oh, Tomic stacks it up in the corner there a little bit, gets into a lapped rider. See the 125 ripping over here, trying to catch up to Zoe Cross in 9th. Cavacuti in 8th. Shepard 7th, Seabolt 6th, Prin 5th, Hubbard in 4th, Carter 3rd, Lang 2nd. Johnson still leads. Has that gap gone up? It has. It's now over 10 seconds for Payson Johnson. Let's stick with your race leader here for a lap and see where he's gaining his time. 2:02.4 last time by. Oh, he just went down. Payson Johnson tucks the front wheel and goes down. Tyler Lang is not going to be close enough to take the lead, but he is definitely going to bring that gap down a lot, and suddenly Tyler Lang might be in a position to go 1-1 today. My, oh my. What a change in tide that would be, as Payson Johnson has led essentially this entire race after he timed the gate and got the hole shot. And now he has got Tyler Lang starting to breathe down his neck here with 5 minutes and 2 laps left to go. Lang's so smooth on that line, but it get a little kick at the end there, and that cost him some time. Yeah, this is anybody's race. Johnson's looks so good, but he's also crashed his way back to this position at this point. And Lang has just been steady as can be and actually ran a faster lap last time by than Johnson ran before his crash. 3 seconds in it. Who wants to win the second moto? I think Lang would absolutely love to go home with a 1-1 and extend that points lead. .202.8. There's a 209.7 out of Johnson. And he just made a mistake coming back onto the start straight, and that allows Lang to close up another basically whole second as they go into the first turn. And Lang makes a couple mistakes and loses about a half a second going up to the top of the hill here, so doesn't seem like it's just one spot that Lang is gaining and Johnson out front is losing or anything like that. They're both making their strives and their losses in different places on the racetrack right now. Lang again closing it back down to about that 2 second range. Under 2 seconds now. Boy, Payson Johnson probably sweating some bullets here, seeing this gap come down just ever so slightly. And a mistake at the top of the hill. Oh, it's going to get close. You can see Payson Johnson just ahead of him, and Lang just so good at this line. Coming up to 2 minutes left on the clock, and then we'll go another 2 laps beyond that. And you're looking at a titanic battle for the lead brewing in MX2 Race 2 here. Tyler Lang closing up the gap to Payson Johnson out front. Just over a second in it. Remember, Johnson was leading the moto last time through and crashed heavily coming down those rollers. So he's just trying to make amends for some first moto mistakes here and take home the win if he can. Oh, did Payson Johnson just front flip, or did he just... Oh, and then what just happened? And he just went down. That was a really weird crash. He got some weird kick on the single there. I've never seen that before. It did almost look like his rear tire caught it and kicked him sideways, but I think that had some lag. No idea what he was doing. Front flipped maybe the table coming down the hill, and then rear end kicks out hard. So Tyler Lang has gone back to the lead again and is looking like he's going to go 1-1 today in Italy and really extend this points lead from the tie it was when they entered. And Braden Carter just looking at so many points getting lost here. Going to be over 10 points down in the championship as they run. And he's got to be absolutely furious with himself because he had an opportunity many times in this moto to get away from Lang and open up a gap, gain some points on him. Now the first fall, as we saw with Payson Johnson's lag, probably was not his fault. But anything that happened after that, especially after he got back ahead of Lang and was opening up a gap on him again, at this point it's just falling apart a little bit for Carter. Not out of the water yet either, as Nathan Prynne is trying to close up. And time is just about to expire, as it does right now, 30 minutes in. So 2-lap board coming out next time by, and Tyler Lang going to clip the flag stand in just a couple corners. So looking at really just about 2 laps to go here in the MX2 Race 2 at Majora. Closest battle may be Prynne closing up on Carter. Or how about this one? Eagland side by side with Jeremy Seabolt. Eagland on the 125. Seabolt on the 250F. Oh, and Eagland down over the bars. Left rider goes through. There goes Hubbard and Cross. And there goes Cavacuti. So Eagland lost 4 spots in that crash. And now Hubbard has a mistake, so Cavacuti's going to try to take advantage. On the outside, no, Hubbard holds the inside and keeps that position, but then has a mistake and goes down and takes Cavacuti with him. So here comes Eagland. 3 riders all meshed together suddenly. Oh, Eagland wheeling his way through the rollers there, and then a nice scrub over the hill, carrying so much corner speed on that 125. Man, big air for Hubbard. Oh, that's why Eagland shorted the table. Cavacuti sitting right here as well, waiting for his opportunity to pounce. Now this gap seems like it's opening up just a little bit. Meanwhile, Zoe Cross has got his crosshairs set on Jeremy Seabolt to try to run him down. Seabolt's going after Shepard. Carter, right behind the 241, who's doing front flips. Lap down, but Carter's lost the spot to Prynne, and then Carter just doubled down the hill, and he made it work. Holy smokes, Braden Carter pulling out all the stops here. Trying to make something happen down the stretch to not lose so many points. And now Prynne and him get together, and they're both down. Prynne is going to get up first, give him a nudge and another little nudge. And they're still side by side as they come down the hill. White flag about to wave for Lang out front, but your battle for third is crazy right now between Carter and Nathan Prynne. Oh, Carter trying so desperately to get the spot back. Dualies. Over the wall jump, carrying speed down by the mechanics area. Carter shoots down the inside. It's still bar to bar over the finish line jump. 1 lap to go, and Prin takes the advantage back because he's got the preferred line down the inside. And Carter lost a little bit of time in the process there. About 3 seconds in it for the lead. Payson Johnson's closed it back down. Now Carter makes the move because Prin had a big one, and Carter moves back into third. Meanwhile, Payson Johnson absolutely ripping right now. 3.5 seconds. He did a 58.1 last time by. He's trying everything possible on this last lap to close it up to Lang ahead of him. Let's see how close he can maybe get it. Under 3 seconds now. Just holding the bike wide open. And there's that double line. And it works. Down to 1.9 seconds. Had to get a little wayward there with some lap traffic in the way, but man, Payson Johnson is on rails right now. Trying to close this thing down. Mistake there is going to cost him some time, but it's still under 2 seconds. Carrying speed down the rollers. That's going to cost him a lot of time right there. He got the rollers a little bit wrong at the bottom, but man, he actually seemed to gain time, so maybe something happened. Oh man, this is close. Payson Johnson flying. Only basically 1 turn to go because they're going to have a little kink here. The roller, Johnson comes zinging down the hill behind him, and he's going to fall just short as Tyler Lang comes down to go 1-1 today in Maggiora and take the Italian Grand Prix victory. Holy smokes, Johnson, he ran a 58.2, he 58.1, 58.2 last 2 laps of the race, got it down to 0.7 of a second. Crazy finish there, but Lang takes the win unofficially. Nathan Prin just got backwards and goes down. So Prin in his fight with Carter to the checkered flag comes unraveled. Carter will finish this one in 3rd. Nathan Prin is going to be safe in 4th. Shepard looks like he's got 5th about wrapped up. Seabolt's trying to get there. Zoe Cross going to go 6-7 today. Colby Eagland. Oh, 360 it. Oh, Colby Eagland scrubbed 360. Woo! Look at him go on the 125. Oh my gosh, that was sick. Colby Eagland, you bad man. Taking a 125 into the top 10 in both motos here today. Crazy stuff. Cavacuti gonna wrap up inside of the top 10 with a 9th. Luke Sullivan looks like he's gonna get 10th in this one. Ewan's coming in behind, trying to get it close. Ethan Gerst just cased back here in 12th. Jacob Hubbard, 13th. Tyron Tomich in 14th. Trent Adams, 15th. Hillman, 16th. Burns, 17th. Alexander, 18th. And Frank Jackson, 19th. Final time over the sky jump here. Alexander trying to get it close to Trevor Burns. Launches the wall a little bit, but that's going to be the slower option. And he will come across at 18th. Frank Jackson going to be 19th here. Eventually, there he goes. And 20th was Cooper Hunt. Let's take a look at cuts. Ooh, looks like Hillman lost the spot to Trevor Burns for 16th. And that was it. In fact, wow, Payson Johnson had a lot of cuts out front, so it wouldn't have mattered if he got him in the end, but valiant effort at the end. Tyler Lang goes 1-1. He has won the Italian Grand Prix, and that's going to send us into commercial break. Don't touch that URL bar. We'll be right back on the other side of this quick intermission with the MX1 division here at the Italian Grand Prix at Maggiora.
can't find my way back to you until you make amends with the demons you've been through. And I can't regret leaving you alone until you find your way back home. Find your way back home. Don't let me drown. Don't let me drown. Don't let me drown. Until you find your way back home. I can't regret leaving you alone until you find your way back home.
Hello and welcome back to round 5 of the 2020 Race Factor Gaming Grand Prix Championship. It is the MX Simulator Grand Prix of Italy at Maggiora Park here in Italy. It is a great day for racing so far. This 250 division provided a lot of drama. This is what the point standings looked like going into the night of racing. Tyler Lang and Braden Carter tied on points, but of course we just saw how things shook down between them there. Here's where we're at though in the 450 standings. Leclerc with an 8-point lead on Jack Haley, and it's going to be interesting to see how they do. Adam Holm much further down the order at this point already though, 36 points down. 36 points down of Leclerc as the defending champion. But we're in Majora, 1,650 meter length racetrack, about a little over a mile, and just outside the town of Majora. Actually, you can see those things up on the hillside there is actually the town of Majora that wasn't fully 3D scanned into this map rendering, but about 30 miles outside of Milan, about 330 miles away from the capital of Italy in Rome. But here's a look at this racetrack, which we go over the finish line jump here. And I saw that Jeremy Cohenauer said no consi in chat, so I will jump in as soon as this is over. This little soiree lap at the beginning. You can get the parade lap started if you want, Cohenauer, and I'll just time back in. Anyway, through the first corner, a couple rollers, and then inside, outside options. We're seeing a lot of guys go middle here, coming up the hill. And then this little Tagger Designs double here at the top of the hill, and you'll land, try to get on the brakes to this inside, and then drop down the elevator shaft right next to the restaurant, a restaurant that's open most of the year as far as I'm aware. I know it's open on race days, of course, but it's right up there at the top. It's got a swimming pool there, too. It's kind of cool. Into this center part of the track, Cooper Webb fell there in 2016 at the Motocross of Nations at Majora when he was trying to hold off Roman Febvre late in the race. And then this big race tech table, kind of the centerpiece of the racetrack, splits the front and the back sections of the track. Get on the brakes hard and then swoop right back up the hill, up and down, all around we go on these hills. Really tough racetrack for getting traction and power to the ground, but I'm sure these guys have no problem with that. Little inside-outside options again. We're seeing some guys double down the hill there, which is kind of crazy. And then inside-outside option again. Mostly people going far inside in that corner. This triple down the hill, and then everybody seems to be going outside here, far outside, getting the berm, and then again swooping to the outside here, just like I did on my lap. Go outside here, and then scrub this table / step-up thing. Land heavy on the gas and carry your momentum down the hill into the race tech rollers. You want to go double, and then try to plow into this, and then kind of scrub it over the top of the hill and land a little bit deeper in the valley. All the way up to the top of the hill on the other side of the track, at the far back section of the track, closest to the town, actually. Then you got this small little table coming down the hill, and then this really big tabletop right before the finish line jump as they land off of this and go to the very bottom race tech roller before they head down the mechanics area one last time and into the final corner. That's going to be a lap here at Majora Park in Italy for the 5th round of the championship. Well, so glad that you guys could join us again here tonight. It's going to be a great night of racing. It already has been a great night of racing, so I shouldn't say it's going to be. It has been a great night of racing, and we're going to have more great racing coming up right now here in this 450 division. Really quickly, though, before I jump back into the server, I wanted to look at qualifying times. Alexis Leclerc, Adam Holm, Jack Haley. You're 1, 2, 3 in the championship. Actually, it's 1, 3, 2 in order as we show them here. But Leclerc fastest qualifier by over a second, or almost exactly a second, I should say, on Adam Holm. Jack Haley back there in 3rd. Brandon Holmes, Caden Speck. A lot of guys need to make some big dents here tonight, but those top 3 in the championship seem to be pretty set in stone. So we'll jump back into the server here and see kind of where we're at. I know that there's no consolation race, so we should be getting racing started here pretty quickly, actually, as we don't have to wait for that consolation race at all. But again, appreciate you guys stopping by. Hopefully you enjoyed the 250 broadcast so far and all the 250 racing that's been happening. Now we're doing 450 racing. We're doing 2 30-minute plus 2-lap motos in the 450 class. These guys carry a lot of speed on these 450s up and down these hills here in Majora Park. It's going to be interesting to see the differences between the 250 class, where they were kind of establishing more of outside sweeping lines and carrying more momentum. Maybe these 450 guys are tucking more to the inside, using those kind of built-up ruts a little bit more, digging them deeper so that they can carry more speed through them. No idea. We haven't seen them in race mode yet, only qualifying mode, of course. But in race mode, this track is seemingly racing a little bit different than what we expected. So curious to see how it breaks down. Of course, the track resets after each moto as well. So we're going to see it get really, really, really rough at the end of the first moto, then reset back to normal and get really, really rough again in the second moto. And probably going to have 2 really, really good races to watch here tonight. So really appreciate you guys joining us here on the broadcast. And let's check out the MX1 class here at Majora. All right, we're trying to get loaded in, and no consolation race as mentioned. Jeremy Cohenauer dropped by in the chat to let us know that, so good news there, I guess, or not good news, I'm not sure. Kind of a bummer that get to the halfway point of the season, we don't have enough entries, I guess, to make a consolation race, but still good to see that we have 40-ish people lining up, because I saw that they had 36 people lined up already that were going into the motos, and then I guess they didn't have enough to fill the consies, so we're just foregoing that. But I guess it makes it good for us people because we're going right into the motos. Thank you, Tyson. For those of you that don't know, my daughter was born a week and a half ago on June 25th, so that's why I took basically all of last week off from making content, and it worked out because there was no Race Factor Gaming racing at all last week, so because of that, I just didn't stream it all. We're going to have probably the makeup broadcast for the High Point National coming tomorrow night, so thank you, Tyson, for congratulating me on the baby. It's going well. I'm actually watching her sleep right now on my phone because my wife needed to take a shower, so just might hear a little bit of background noise because she may make some coos or different noises or whatever along those lines. So I apologize if you hear that, but just trying to keep an eye on her so that she's safe and sound. And if I have to leave right in the middle of the race, I will, because my daughter's life is more important to me than talking about this dirt bike race, to be honest with you. Alrighty, folks. Let's get ready to simulator. Everybody get excited for this 450 division. It is going to be a crazy one to watch. Who's going to win this thing? We have no idea. We have got Leclerc, Holm, and Haley right down the inside, though. The heavy hitters, Brandon Holmes with a good gate pick, Daniel Mills, Chase Blakely, I think that's Kyle Carpenter. 30 board is sideways. JLV's coming off the track. It's time to go racing in Majora. Who's going to get that? Racetech.com. Whole shot. We're off and running. And it's going to be the 5, I think, of Walter Gebhardt who gets to the corner first. Leclerc tucked down the inside. He may have actually got the whole shot, but it is Leclerc out front. Gebhardt in second. And around the outside, oh man, Adam Holm getting kind of shut off there. And look at Gebhardt already going after Leclerc for the lead again. Gebhardt trying not to let Leclerc get away early. Leclerc has been so fast here in the outdoor races thus far. That's why he has the red plate. He is your points leader. He only has an 8-point lead. It's not huge, but it's enough. And Gebhardt makes a big mistake and comes back onto the track right in front of Adam Holm. Caden Speck was able to sneak on through, but Robert Wilson has moved up to second. So we got a Husky 1, 2, 3, I think. I'm not sure. Nova GFX, actually, that's supposed to be Yamaha, I think. Speck down, though. Oh my goodness, how did they all funnel around him and miss? Adam Holm, Jeff Cooper, Chase Blakely, Jack Haley with a good start as well. Oh, Ryder down, Hockey down, and it's causing several others to go down. He just clipped the rear wheel there, I think, of Blakely as they were coming over the top of the hill. Unfortunate there. These 450s so loud. Sounds like somebody was just down maybe at the top of the hill on the other side there, but Holm applying pressure to Brandon Holmes. Gebhardt got back around Robert Wilson, and still Leclerc leading. So Sky Shot first lap. I know you guys like to see this. Leclerc gets not very turned, and then we got Wilson got a little sideways. Holm with a nice flick. Jeff Cooper getting sideways. Jack Haley with a nice little flick as well. And then down in the background, Caden Speck. Woo! Someone throwing filth. I think that was Bryce Whelan on the 34. And someone on a Yamaha still getting upside down there. This guy's going outside of my camera view. Did I miss somebody? A little sideways there for, I think that's Kyler Hockey on the KTM. Nicely done. Cohenauer, I think that was back there on the Honda getting sideways. That might have been Armstrong on the 99 Yamaha, I think. A couple more people still coming in. Nice. Good stuff. Battle up front again. Gebhardt peeking inside. Not going to get there, though. Leclerc holding steady, but Gebhardt He just came to play today, man. He is racing hard. And it was interesting because Gebhardt was not in the top 5 for qualifying, but right now it seems like might be the fastest rider on the track here early on as everybody's settling into a pace, and Gebhardt looks like he has found the flow quite quickly. Gebhardt, these guys going to that middle-ish rut and then middle rut again, which is, again, very different to what we were seeing out of the 250 guys. Instead of outside, it's middle instead through those switchbacks. 250's much more concerned about keeping the revs up and carrying momentum. 450s, you can really lug the power out of them, especially on a hilly track like this. Something Leclerc has always been very good at, but Walter Gebhardt is not letting him go easy. Over the Race Tech wall jump, down by the mechanics area to complete lap number 2. 2 laps in the books. They're going to go about 17 laps here. And Walter Gebhardt keeping Alexis Leclerc pretty honest. Right on his back wheel here. Just biding his time. Wonder if he has an opportunity lined up. He keeps going around on the outside here at the top of the hill. Seems to work out really well. Look at the speed he carries, and then so far down the hill. Oh my gosh, how does he land that? That's insane. And then Leclerc tucks to that middle rut to hold the position. I mean, I wish I could show you on a side-by-side comparison how much farther Gebhardt just launched down the hill. Because, I mean, he basically landed to flat down the elevator shaft, which is something you really can't do. I mean, you can, but not really too good for the old virtual body there. You're just getting a bird's eye view here of Alexis Leclerc going to work out front, but Gebhardt not letting him get away. That's what you got to do sometimes with Leclerc. He's very James Stewart-like in that sense, where you keep him honest. You give him something to think about. You don't let him just get a 20-second lead and cruise out front. And I'll tell you what, you do some wonders there. Gebhardt is really keeping him close as best as he possibly can. Over this big table down the hill, so much speed carried. You're just in the air for so long, it seems like. It's crazy because it doesn't seem like that big of a table. You don't even have to hit it that hard. 56.9. Leclerc went a little long on landing, so Gebhardt's going to close up nice and tight here again. 56.3 to a 56.9. These guys are both running an insane pace already. Not to be outdone by Brandon Holmes back there in third doing a 58.3 though. Oh, Gebhardt trying to get that power down, lost the rear end. And this time he is not going to go to the outside and launch down the hill. He's going to that inside with Leclerc. These two have just set sail though already. Adam Holm back here in fourth, Jack Haley back here in fifth are wondering, man, can we battle with these guys today? Because they are both flying at the front. Tyson Parliament asking, is it weird to be called Dad? Well, to be honest with you, no one is like calling me Dad yet because she's not old enough to say my name. The only, I guess, thing that you do say is like, my wife and I, we will say like, do you want to go hang out with Mom or do you want to go hang out with Dad when you're just talking to the baby or talking to our dog? We sometimes say that as well. But I don't know, it's not that weird. It'll be really weird when she can talk and says that. Because yeah, I mean, as Andrew Peekman says in chat, people call me Dad or Papa Kellen all the time. I feel like it's what most people call me. And like Instagram comments, YouTube comments, it's, oh, there's Papa Kellen. So thank you guys for picking a nickname for me that will stick with me well until when I'm a grandfather at some stage. And I won't be Grandpa Kellen, I'll be Papa Kellen. Leclerc checks in, though, on lap number 5, and he's extended that gap over Gebhardt, who's lost some pace now. But Brandon Holmes still holding a strong 3rd. Adam Holm 4th. Jack Haley 5th, and then a big gap back to Robert Wilson, who just threw nice and steezy on the table. He's in 6th, holding off his teammate Chase Blakely right now. Jeff Cooper running in 8th. 9th for Dale Mullins, and 10th is Braden Castellaneta, but he's right there battling it out with James Cohen. Ash Deering also in the mix. Kyler Hockey recovering from his early fall. Dennis Fjellberg back here as well. Castellaneta had gone down, so he's now just in front of Austin Bear. Anthony Pachone. Jeremy Cohenauer, Caden Speck, Kyle Carpenter. And Daniel Mills, I think that's, 20th place right now for D Mills. Field getting spread pretty thin. Adam Holm closing up now on Brandon Holmes. This is a battle for 3rd. And Holmes has done a terrific job in the early runnings of this race to keep the 2 title contenders of Jack Haley and Adam Holm at bay. And now he might actually have a shot at closing things down a little bit on Walter Gebhardt just ahead of him. Got riders getting stacked up at the top of the hill. In fact, Holmes is now ahead of Gebhardt because this battle's changed. Gebhardt's off the back of this group now. So got 5 riders in the air at the same time, but that's just putting the 93 a lap down right there. So Gebhardt right behind Haley, who's right behind Holm, and Brandon Holmes has taken over 2nd place. Gebhardt trying to show a wheel to Haley here. Can't quite get in there just enough though, and Adam Holm is now extending that gap ahead of these guys just a little bit. Here's an outside look though at Gebhardt applying pressure to Haley as they go up the hill. Oh, there's Holm on Brandon Holmes trying to make a move. Boy, that's confusing. Tongue twister a little bit. How about freaking Brandon Holmes on the 48? What a ride. OG Brandon putting stuff together right now. Look at the whips over this jump too. These guys so good. 2, 3, 4, 5 in a freight train up the hill here. It's race 1 of the MXGP class here at the Italian Grand Prix. Jack Haley trying to have a peek on Holm. Brandon Holmes just keeping these guys together. All the while, Leclerc still pulling away out front. Here's Haley looking for a move, but he gets a little bit of a punterino off the track there. Adam Holm says, no thank you, Mr. Haley. So Gebhardt goes on by, and Haley rejoins right behind Gebhardt, so this group is still tightly knit as Gebhardt now trying to get around Adam Holm here. Man, Gebhardt is all over the back wheel here of the number 1. Brandon Holmes is doing a terrific job holding some serious talent behind him. Gebhardt had to take some evasive maneuvers there to go around some lap traffic. And 2, 3, 4 still very close together. Jack Haley back there on the red machine, just out of screen, trying to get around some lappers. Oh, Gebhardt almost into the back wheel there of Adam Holm. Again, Brandon Holmes swings to that far outside, but then doesn't jump way down the hill like Gebhardt was earlier. Not sure if there's an advantage, though, to jumping down the hill other than just a bit of a scare tactic for whoever you're battling with. And suddenly this foursome is closed back up again. Haley has found the groove and is closed back up to Gebhardt. Holmes is trying to keep the defending champion Adam Holm right behind him. And down the inside goes Gebhardt, makes the move up into third. So Gebhardt wasting no time. He wants to go forward. Trying to hop down the hill, now goes inside on Holmes, but Brandon Holmes on the 48 has come to play today here at Majora, fighting off the challenges of some of the biggest names in this game. Down the inside, Gebhardt trying to go, but he's not going to get it done there. So far inside for Holmes, and Haley gets into the back of Adam Holm and goes down. Same spot they got together a lap ago. Gebhardt now moves up into the 2 spot. Holmes drops back to 3rd, and Holm right here in 4th as they jump over the top of Ethan Parks on the 96. And these positions are pretty much exactly how they were about 3 laps ago, when Gebhardt was much closer to Leclerc in 2nd and Holmes is holding Adam Holm behind him. Oh, lap traffic gets involved. That was already going to be a huge one for Brandon Holmes as he was almost going down, coming down the hill there. But he gets into the 738 ride there. Not sure who that is, but just kind of unfortunate he was down right in the line there. So Holm goes back up into 3rd. Gebhardt now finds himself in 2nd, but it is Leclerc, 15-second lead. Lap time check 57.9 to a 58.2, so he's actually going faster than Gebhardt. But Gebhardt now has clean air, so let's see what he can do. Coming up on the halfway point of this race already, time is flying by as Adam Holm trying to close up on the number 5. Oh, and he's going to go around the outside of him. Wow, what a move. Gebhardt made a little bobble on the exit of the corner, and Holm threw it in on the outside. Now they're both down. Gebhardt able to stay on 2 wheels as Adam Holm actually falls off the bike there, and he will get going still in 3rd. Where in the heck did everybody go? Jack Haley back here. And Brandon Holmes now back in 5th. Robert Wilson is still in 6th. Dale Mullins a strong 7th. Oh, but he just slid out. So he goes back to 8th as Blakely goes by, and now 9th as Deering goes by. Tyler Hockey just inside of the top 10 with a battle somewhat brewing between him and Jeff Cooper. Jeff Cooper on the Hemlock number 32. Kyle Carpenter on the number 708. Oh, James Cohen. Caden Speck just got into the back of James Cohen. Braden Castellaneta now right on the back of James Cohen, trying to put some pressure. He's got the number 221 on his back, but the number 122 on his bike. It's kind of funny. Giving me some Austin Jones flashbacks here. And Pachone on the Spink ride. A couple of Spink teammates sandwiching the Nova GFX ride of Castellaneta. Nice little freight train here, though. So much battling going on throughout the field. It's quite easy to miss some of these ones. Daniel Mills now lurking off the back of these 3 riders. And Pachone putting some serious heat onto the back of Castellaneta, and then gets into the back of him and front flips out of it. Nicely done, Pachone. Good save. But it's going to allow Mills to pass not only him, but Castellaneta as well. So Mills goes by. James Cohen will be his next target if he can get to him. Jeff Cooper in a battle here with Dale Mullins. As these two try to figure out some positions. Kyler Hockey just ahead of them, getting around some lap traffic. Ash Deering, Chase Blakely, Robert Wilson. Jack Haley now behind Brandon Holmes again, so Haley must have had a mistake, or Holmes picked up his pace. Adam Holm, Walter Gebhardt, Alexis Leclerc. I know I just did it, but let's quickly run through the field here. This one's brought to you by Ride365.com, which is title sponsor of this series, and the Outdoor Nationals, which High Point rerun coming up tomorrow evening, and round 3 of the series will be on Wednesday night, so you won't want to miss any of that action. But Ride365.com bringing you the top 20 here. Alexis Leclerc, Rockstar Husky, number 7, points leader, continues to lead here in Majora. Walter Gebhardt, Panini Motorsports, number 5, sits in 2nd. The ATOM.com defending champion, the number 1 machine of Adam Holmes, sits in 3rd. Brandon Holmes, Rival Decal, number 48, sits in 4th. He has gone away with this lead 5 pack. Done a great job of sticking with them in the early runnings. Jack Haley, Jack Daniels Racing, runs in the 5 spot right now with the number 6 machine. 6th goes to Robert Wilson, the BPC number 69. Nice, as he jumps off the track and goes down, but he saves it. Is he going to get on before his teammate goes by? No, Blakely goes through, and there comes Ash Deering. So Blakely, BPC 21, goes up to 6th. His teammate Wilson drops back to 7th, and their other teammate, Ash Deering, on the number 34, runs in 8th. 9th, Jeff Cooper, Hemlock, number 32. Good ride out of him. He got around Dale Mullins, who's dropped back to 10th, but he's still inside of the top 10. 11th, Kyle Carpenter, Tagger Designs, number 708. 12th, Kyler Hockey, MXS Magazine, number 25. 13th for the number 31 of Daniel Mills on the JDR Suzuki. 14th is Braden Castellaneta on the Nova GFX 122. 15th for James Cohen on the Spink 479, I should say. His teammate, Anthony Pachon, runs in 16th. 17th, Dennis Fjellberg on the MV Films number 55. 18th is Caden Speck on the Nova GFX machine right behind him. Austin Bear, Hemlock number 37, runs 19th. And 20th appears to be a battle right now between Jeremy Cohenauer and Trevor Schaefer, of which Cohenauer will take the position. That is a top 20 rundown brought to you by Ride365.com. Back to the lead group, Leclerc, Gebhardt, Holm, Haley, Holmes. It's pretty much stayed the same, only Brandon Holmes got passed by Jack Haley. Otherwise, our front 5 are identical to when we started the rundown. And Holm trying to close it back up on Gebhardt. Lap time check this time by 3 seconds in it. 158.9 to a 204.5, so he definitely clawed a lot of time back. 30-second lead for Leclerc right now. "20 minutes in, 10 minutes, and 2 laps left to go. Can Adam Holm close this gap down to Gebhardt, or will Gebhardt turn on the afterburners again and start pulling away? Gebhardt's lap times were better than Holm, so I'm assuming he must have had a big problem of some kind that caused him to run that 204.5. Because Holm was right there, and now he's 5 seconds down of him in really the blink of an eye. I mean, it happened so fast. Haley, Holmes, Deering, Blakely. Oh, Robert Wilson down. There goes Jeff Cooper. And that'll be it. Everybody else was lap traffic that went through. Here's Kyle Carpenter, Dale Mullins. Outside move, Kyler Hockey trying to get Dale Mullins, jumping down the hill, crossover, Hockey, big crash, down the elevator shaft. Goes flying into the stands, and he's gonna get back up well behind where he was. He only looks like he lost a spot to D-Mills though. D-Mills and Dale Mullins. D-Mills and D-Mole. Joan, Cohen, Castellaneta, Caden Speck, Dennis Fjellberg. Not a lot of battling going on. So I'm going to take the advice from Louis Bunday in chat. Let's go on board with Leclerc, and let's just sit back and watch the Frenchman go to work. Let's see him weave through some lap traffic and run a burner here at Majora. 58.9 out of Leclerc, and if you were on board for most of that lap with us, you saw there's quite a few lapped riders down that he had to weave around, so that was kind of crazy. Interesting stuff for sure. Back to Gebhardt and Holm getting updates in chat from Racer Rat that there was some contact between these two, so curious to see if Holm can get back to Gebhardt. Maybe there's a little bit of no love lost between the two. Six minutes and 2 laps left to go for Holm to try to make something happen there. But as we mentioned earlier, it seems like Gebhardt has the upper hand speed-wise, so Gebhardt obviously made a mistake, and Holm got to him if that was what indeed happened between the two. Jack Haley back here, though. It's a lonely race in fourth, and he's 8 points down in the championship of Leclerc entering this one. So he's watching more and more points slip away. This is a 7-point swing. So he'd be 15 down after this moto alone. Not exactly what Haley was hoping for. But he's keeping his head down. He's trying to go after Adam Holm, and I mean, maybe just in case Holm and Gebhardt get together again, he would be able to reap the benefits there. Doesn't have a lot of time to work with, though, but those two are still pretty close ahead of him. He's only about 8 seconds down at Gebhardt here. And clearly he's still got Adam Holm within his sights. So that could be an important exchange as well. And it looks like Gebhardt may be just in the front of this. It is. Gebhardt got together with some lap traffic, so Adam Holm is suddenly right there. And there is still lap traffic everywhere as some lapper on a TM pushes another rider out back there. Trying to get these numbers, I just can't see. So Holm now closing back up on Gebhardt. Can he get to him? And oh man, a big mistake there from Holm. Just as he was starting to close up a little bit. And Haley's trying to lick his chops a little bit at the idea of these two getting together. Gebhardt already extending that gap back out again. Here's Leclerc, though, other side of the racetrack already. His gap out front huge at this point, 35-second lead, and it's continuing to grow as these guys back here are just fighting amongst each other. Haley slides it out. That's going to cost him a lot of time in this battle he was hoping to get involved with. But Brandon Holmes is riding a lonely race right now in fifth, although it might not be lonely for long. Ash Deering is starting to close it down a bit. So can the 34 machine say something about this top 5 position before this is over? Chase Blakely would also like to have a say in the discussion. Dale Mullins has gotten around Jeff Cooper and Robert Wilson. As the never-ending musical chairs inside of the top 10 continues, Kyle Carpenter has been 11th most of this race. Caden Speck side by side here with Kyler Hockey. Up the hill they go. Oh, Speck way out of sorts. He's going off the side of the track. Oh, man. Goes down into the little tunnel section here. It goes underneath the track into the back section of the track. Oh, and then he gets landed on as I think that's Wisdowski just landed on him there. On the 823, Wisdowski's lap down, I believe. Gosh, what a place to get landed on, though. And now Speck slides out again, so things coming unraveled there for the Nova GFX ride. And now here's Hockey squaring off Fjellberg for a drag race up the hill. Oh, man. Thought that was a cross jump. Oh, Fjell just lays it over. Dennis Fjellberg, one of the flashiest riders on the track week in and week out. Going around some lap traffic there. Hockey squares off the corner nicely. He's going to get a better run into this corner, but he actually elects not to go to the outside, which Fjell did, and he gets a much better drive up the hill. Oh, and then a nice little oppo whip kind of there for hockey, little twitch whip kind of. These guys just doing battle. Doesn't matter where you are on the racetrack, you got to find somebody in battle with them. That's how these races usually work. I'm sure they'd like to be a little further up the road. Been told to spec Dennis over the table, which is not a terrible idea because Dennis Fjellberg is one of the loosest riders in this game. He has got some big whips for days. Like, if you see Dennis Fjellberg straight or something, it's because something went wrong. Like, hitting it just normal, straight up and down is incorrect to Fjellberg. He always has to throw some huge whips, upside down stees, crazy stuff. Let's see if he gets absolute saucy for us here on the table. Or is he just playing it safe? Oh, filth. Good stuff. Leclerc just put Robert Wilson a lap down. Wilson is 10th. So Leclerc has lapped up inside of the top 10, which the 250 class did not do. They lapped 14th and 19th, respectively. And Wilson just made a mistake again. So Leclerc absolutely tearing through the field right now. Brandon Holmes has been passed by Chase Blakely and Ash Deering, so Holmes, who was up in that front 5 for so long, now finds himself 7th. Deering moves up to 5th. Jack Haley is in 4th. Holmes still trying to give chase to Gebhardt, and time just expired, but it doesn't matter because Leclerc is halfway through the track. 44-second lead. He's still just running 58s, 56s. No big deal. I mean, Gebhardt and Holm, they have had their crashes in this race, don't get me wrong. But 44 seconds is not all crashes and that's it. I mean, these guys, they're trying, and Leclerc is working them. Not too many people can ride outdoor nationals in this game quite like Alexis Leclerc, and he is once again proving that to be a matter of fact. Not only in the Grand Prix Championship, but in the Pro National Championship, which we again will see probably the replay of High Point coming up tomorrow night, and the third round of the championship coming up on Wednesday. So Holm 3.6 seconds behind Walter Gebhardt. And now he's ahead of him. Gebhardt was just down right there. Oh man, Walter Gebhardt just cannot stay off the ground in this race. Keeps going back down to the ground. And it cost him again. So can he get back around Adam Holm? Or has Holm got this thing pretty well cut off at this point, with just 2 laps remaining? So they're getting the 2-lap board. Leclerc halfway around the track on the other side, heading towards getting the white flag. And there are 0 close battles happening right now, although Brandon Holmes may have just been in a battle with Blakely and went down. But he is going to get up as Jeff Cooper gets here. And now we do have a little bit of a battle. Jeff Cooper, 32, on the back of Brandon Holmes on the 48. 2 guys that 10 minutes ago were nowhere near each other on the racetrack, but now they are battling it out. And both of these riders have now been lapped by Leclerc as well, which is just insane because I think they're battling for 7th. Yep. So Leclerc asserting his authority in this Grand Prix Championship right now. White flag going to be waving for him any minute. Ooh, nice little steez there from Brandon Holmes. White flag waving for Leclerc, 53-second lead. Uh-oh, battle brewing, Holm and Gebhardt. And remember, we think they made contact earlier on. There's a battle for second. Holm trying to keep the number 5 machine at bay. Gebhardt seems to have the speed to run at the very front of the field, but not the consistency. A lot of crashing for the 5 here in race 1. Oh, big launch. Oh, just not quite able to get enough there as Holm shuts the door, and then he shuts the door on the inside again, so Gebhardt has to go around the outside of the rut and drop down the hill. Both of them just trying to play it safe. Somebody backflipping there on a KTM. Nicely done. Or no, it was a Cowie, actually. My bad, not a KTM. Oh, Holm goes down. Big kicker before the finish line jump. And Gebhardt goes back into the 2 spot. Holm is, I mean, basically guaranteed himself to get 3rd in this one. Haley's nowhere close. And Leclerc just lapped Chase Blakely for 6th, and he's on the back door of Deering. He might lap Deering before this is over. Here's Leclerc, just got around Blakely. And Blakely hoping he gets Deering so that Deering doesn't get the position all to himself, although they are teammates, so maybe they're a little bit more cordial with each other. But Leclerc getting very close to Whelan here. Wonder if, I keep saying Whelan, it's Deering on the 34. Wonder if Deering will move aside, or is he going to try to beat him to the checkered flag? Big whip coming down one more time. And looks like Deering will let him go by, so Leclerc is lapped up to 5th. And he's going to stamp his authority in this one with a win in race 1. Alexis Leclerc has dominated the first race here in Italy. Gebhardt, Holm, Haley are the only riders remaining on the lead lap. So is Deering, Blakely. Brandon Holmes coming down will pick up the 7th spot. 8th goes to Jeff Cooper. Kyle Carpenter should end up 9th here. Dale Mullins right behind him. Let's see if it comes down close here. Carpenter is going to hold it on for 9th. Mullins will come across 10th, just over a second behind. Looks like Holm versus Haley is brewing. Adam Holm dropped it somewhere on the racetrack because he's no longer right behind Walter Gebhardt, but he is right in front of Jack Haley. Wonder if Haley throws caution to the wind here. Oh, big mistake for Holm. He missed the inside rut, and Haley's got an advantage here to come alongside and gonna make the move. Dualies over the big table. Now Holm's gonna try to get the power down off this single, and he's got a great line. Oh, that might have been it right there, though. Haley got the drive better, and it's gonna be Jack Haley because Holm crashed it into the final corner, and that means that Haley will solidify that 3rd spot regardless of cuts because Holm's gonna end up pretty far down, 8 seconds in the end. And wow, that was close at the flag there. 19th, Trevor Schaefer. Simos, is he gonna get 20th? No, he gets, no, he does. No, he still missed the finish line jump, but Caden Speck is down. Here comes James Armstrong. He's going to try to get a couple positions here at the line. Armstrong gets 20th out of nowhere. Speck and Simos both blew it in the last turn. And Simos, who was going to maybe get 18th in that one, crosses the line 22nd. Dylan Copeland also missing out. Castellaneta, Aaron Rockefeller, Carson West, Andrade, LeBeau, Heagney, Parks. There are cuts. So let's see, top 20. Looks like James Cohen got around Jeremy Cohenauer for 14th on cuts. And Blakely got around his teammate Deering on cuts. So Deering, instead of racing Leclerc to the flag and getting that last lap in which he would be guaranteed 5th, let him go, and it cost him a position as he ends up in the 5 spot. And for what it's worth, if Holm had followed Haley over the line, he would have gotten 3rd. Instead, he crashed, and Haley ends up with that 3 spot. It was Leclerc, though, with a dominating win, over a minute ahead. Crazy, crazy victory. And that sends us into a 5-minute intermission. So if you guys have any questions you'd like to ask me, shoot them over my way now. I'd be happy to answer. I'll just keep an eye out over on the sky shot over there and see if anybody's throwing some whipper tails. But yeah, shoot some questions my way. Danger Zone 12 says, does Ryan Villapoto have a legitimate case for being the GOAT? No. I mean, like, I get, some people will always bring up the argument that, like, Villapoto raced in an era where he raced Chad, Dungey, Stu. He did technically race Kenny and Eli, both. You know, Wyndham. You know, Davey Millsaps was really good one year. Kennard. Like, the talent pool, I think, was better than what Ricky raced. But Ricky had to beat McGrath, who is the greatest Supercross rider of all time. And the second half of his career, he had to deal with James and Chad, who are second and fourth on the Supercross wins list. And Ricky cleaned house outdoors, never lost an outdoor title. 10 years, 97 to 06, won every outdoor title. Like, you can't even compare that to Villapoto, in my opinion. Yeah, I mean, Ricky, 2 perfect seasons. I mean, like, I would say the high-end talent that Ricky faced was better than the high-end talent that Villo faced. Villo faced just a deeper field. So I guess in a sense, you're like, if you're talking about winning championships, he did have a little bit more difficulty winning championships because on a bad night, he could legitimately finish 6th or something. Whereas, like, Ricky, if he had a bad night, he would probably still win. That's how bad the talent was some years. Like, Ernesto Fonseca finishing on the podium, like, 8 straight rounds to end 2003. Ernie was a great rider, but he wasn't, like, I don't know, like, I wouldn't compare Fonseca to Chad or James or, you know, the Dungey Villapoto or anything like that. And that was the top 4 from the time Villapoto was winning his titles. So Villo had, like, this, you know, depth that was kind of gnarly, but I don't think that that classifies you as the GOAT because you had a deep field. He just, you know, Ricky just won by huge margins. I think if Ricky raced in the era that Villo did, he'd still win by huge margins. It's just the lay of the land, you know? And yeah, so Ricky has 10 outdoor titles. He has 3 125 titles and 7 250 titles. And what's crazy is, so Ricky turned pro at the end of 96, raced Supercross in 97 and 98, won the 125 East title in 98, and then moved up in his 3rd year as a pro to race 250 Supercross and had a horrendous year. So he's like, forget that, dropped back down and won the 125 outdoor title in 99 like it was nobody's business. So I think that you can make cases for Villopoto being Mount Rushmore level, like in the top 4 best all time. I don't think you can say that he was better than Ricky. I'm sorry. All right, folks, it's time for moto number 2 here at Maggiora. The Italian Grand Prix set to go. Who's going to get that Racetech.com whole shot? We're off and running. Haley with a good jump, but Leclerc gets to the corner first, controls it. Racetech.com whole shot award, Alexis Leclerc, but watch out. Here's Gebhardt with another good start. Oh, but he gets stood up. So Leclerc leads, Mills second, Speck, Haley, Fjellberg, Kohenauer, Gebhardt right there behind Blakely. Big whip over the tabletop there for Chase Blakely, trying to settle in here behind Kohenauer as all these guys looking for positions early on, and Fjellberg goes down, takes down Blakely, takes down Kohenauer. I think that's Aaron Rockefeller getting in there as well. Everybody scattered through. Oh, Adam Holm goes down. Adam Holm had a terrible start, and he was well back here as he got down as well. Frantic action as Kohenauer gets going, and there's people mixed around. All right, so resetting things. It is still Leclerc out front. 3.4 seconds over Mills. I mean, Leclerc, see you later. Nice talking to you. Jack Haley's in third, Gebhardt's in fourth. I think Gebhardt might be the only person that could challenge Leclerc in this moto. But that is kind of a tall order. Man, Leclerc is just so good here on this track. I don't know what has happened. Must have ate his Wheaties for breakfast. Ate a bowl of nails or something. This dude is gritty. He was good at St. Jean d'Angely. Don't get me wrong. Oh, wow, he just tucked the front wheel. He's trying to get going. Here comes Mills. And Leclerc holds the lead. Haley pulling alongside of Mills. Goes through into second and just gets it stopped at the bottom of the hill. So Haley now moves into second, and he's trying to keep tabs on Leclerc. It looked like it was going to be sayonara. Leclerc had a 4-second lead after one lap, but it just takes one small bobble. And suddenly, we got a bit of a race here. As dominant as Leclerc was in the first moto, he still only picked up 3 more points than the dudes that finished second. In that case, it was Walter Gebhardt. Leclerc starting to stretch it back out again as Haley is trying to keep it close, but Gebhardt lost the spot to Jeff Cooper. Eduardo Simos with a much better start this time around on the 36, Caden Speck right behind him. Oh, big case for Speck. Trevor Schaefer coming into the picture, as is James Armstrong, Dennis Fjellberg, Jeremy Kohenauer, Wisdowski over here on the Spink 823. James Cohen, Kyler Hockey, Kyle Carpenter, Chase Blakely over the line. Then we got Brandon Holmes back here, Ethan Parks, Anthony Pachone, Ash Deering, Jet Wisdom, Dylan Copeland, Austin Bear, Ian Holm, Aaron Rockefeller, Braden Castellaneta, Carson West, Fernando Andrade, Neil Wells, Robert Wilson, Dale Mullins, Logan Heagney, Austin LeBeau, and then Adam Holm, who is absolutely buried right now in 34th. He is so far behind the leaders, and he's only got 4 guys circulating the track behind him right now. Man, this is a disaster for the defending champion. I just want to sit on board with him here and watch him try to weave through these guys. He gets around. Didn't see the number there, but it was a Honda. So he's up to 33rd. He's got an absolute freight train of riders that if he can catch, they're about 4 corners ahead of him. It's actually, oh, Holmes goes around them. Let's see, let's go who's at the back of this battle here. Brandon Holmes, maybe? Good person to go on board with. There's so many people so close together still. How about this? Everybody's still close together? Let's get a good look at the sky shot table. See if the people are throwing some big whipper tails off of it or not. Here's Gebhardt. Nice little kind of flick. Jeff Cooper, a little bit bigger of a toss. Armstrong, Simos, Cohenauer. Straight air Leclerc for James Cohen. Big send for somebody. I think that was Blakely. Nice little flick for Fjellberg. Holmes lays it down sideways. Wzdowski was straight up and down. Deering, a nice kick out there. And everybody else just kind of funneling in. Oh, big time air for somebody. Doolies! Nice. Oh, man. Somebody jumping sideways there. And there's our defending champion. Oh, filth by somebody on a Honda back there. Who was that? I gotta go find him and give him props. I think it was Austin LeBeau back here on the Nova GFX 518. That was sweet. So Leclerc continues to lead this race, but not by a ton. Jack Haley keeping him honest. 7.5 minutes in, still a lot of time left in this race. Daniel Mills, Jeff Cooper, Walter Gebhardt, James Armstrong. Nice close battle here. Simos, Hockey, Speck, Blakely, Cohenauer, even James Cohen in the mix here. It's a nice freight train. All these guys still fighting for positions early. Oh, Armstrong down off the side of the track. And that changes things up a little bit there. Armstrong was in a very good position. Little kick there for Cohenauer as he clipped a hay bale by the mechanics area. Blakely all over the back of Speck, who just had a big one, but a nice save. They're trying to go after Kyler Hockey. Oh, and then Blakely stands it up and allows Cohenauer through, and Cohenauer takes full advantage of it to make that pass to go up against Caden Speck here on the outside, trying to get by a Hockey as they drop down the elevator shaft. Speck can't get it done, and it allows Cohenauer to close right up onto the back of him. Hockey, a nice oppo whip holding Speck at bay. They all funnel to the same line as they head back up the hill. Oh, almost got an inside move there, did Spec. They're still jockeying for position. Spec might have a move here as Simos makes a mistake and loses 3 spots immediately. That was a tiny bobble, and there it goes. Spec down the inside of Hockey. Little mistake there for the 25 allowed Caden Spec to slide on through. So a nice smooth move there for the Nova GFX ride of Caden Spec. So they drop down the hill. And this is still anybody's race at the front. Jack Haley, much better ride here in the second moto, keeping Leclerc honest. Because as we mentioned, that first moto, with the way things went, he got third. So he limited the damage a little bit. But still lost 5 points to Leclerc. 8 points down before, so 13 down provisionally at the moment. But with another 3 points lost right here, he'd be 16 down leaving Majora, which would not be good to see that points tally double for Leclerc. So Haley wants to limit the damage here and try to win the second moto. Leclerc's off the track. Leclerc has gone off the racetrack, and Jack Haley now leads here in Italy. It was a small bobble, just a little bit too hot on the corner entry. Probably got the wheel high in the corner and just ran it straight off the track. But Leclerc no longer in the lead. The first time he has not led all day here in Majora Park. After a dominating win in the first moto by over a minute, it is Jack Haley now taking it over from Leclerc and leading this thing. The first time in 40 minutes today that Leclerc is not leading this race. So Haley leads. Leclerc drops back to second. Daniel Mills is still in third. Jeff Cooper running in fourth. Look at these guys go with heavy hitters like Adam Holm well down the orders. A lot of these guys seeing a huge opportunity presented to themselves, or they may even be able to land on the podium here in this second race, as Caden Speck is still trying to hold off Walter Gebhardt. Oh, and then a big one. Speck tried to scrub and got a little sideways, so Hockey goes by. And there goes, I think that was Blakely. It was. Brandon Holmes just behind Chase Blakely. Then James Cohen putting 2 solid motos together today for the Spink team. Ash Deering working his way forward. Here's a inside move there for Caden Speck, though. Oh, Deering, big one. Oh, man. Good thing he didn't fall down to that little well, though. Armstrong goes by. Cohenauer goes by. Missing some of these other guys. Dylan Copeland, Trevor Schaefer, Jet Wisdom. Then Ash Deering comes through. Dennis Fjellberg. And Adam Holm is into the points. He is now 19th as he continues to claw his way forward. 2 flat is his best. 2 flat .2 last time by. Let's see if he improves on that. But as I mentioned earlier, if he could catch that freight train of riders, he could really see himself working his way deep inside of the top 10 before this is over. And he's almost caught up to the back of that group that goes pretty much all the way up to about 12th right now. 2 flat .8, so continuing to just be the epitome of consistency. Adam Holm riding very well and trying to do everything he can to keep some good points going in this one. Onto the back of James Armstrong on the number 99 now. And Armstrong blows the corner at the bottom of the hill, so up to 18th for Adam Holm. Fjellberg and Trevor Schaefer battling up ahead of him. Ash Deering, Dylan Copeland, Jet Wisdom's down. This is going to be another spot for Holm, I believe. Wisdom's getting going just as Holm comes into the corner. No, it's not actually going to be a spot. Or not yet, at least. Wisdom gets up right in front of Adam Holm. This is really close battle through here. Speck, Fjellberg, Schaefer, Kohenauer, Wisdom, and Holm right off the back of these guys. Oh, and now Schaefer goes down, and into the back of him goes Fjellberg, and they all pile in. It's an absolute cluster of colors in there. Back up front, getting the reports that Haley went down, and it's true. Leclerc is back out front at Majora, just in time to go into the halfway point of this race. So we'll quickly do a top 20 rundown as we are just about 15 minutes in, 15 minutes down, and 15 minutes left to go. And this top 20 rundown is brought to you by the folks at racetech.com. Head over to racetech.com today. They do suspension and motor work. They can give you some sweet gold valves, which are some of the best in the business, if I do say so myself. You get your suspension feeling plusher and feeling awesome on the racetrack, or give you a nice engine upgrade, engine tune, go through your motor, make sure everything is squeaky clean. Racetech.com for all your parts and suspension needs. Check them out today. It is Alexis Leclerc on the number 7 Rockstar Husky machine, leading this thing from Jack Haley on the number 6 Jack Daniels Racing Ride. Daniel Mills sits in 3rd on the JDR, number 31. 4th is Walter Gebhardt on the Panino Motorsports, number 5. 5th is Jeff Cooper on the number 32 Hemlock Ride. Great ride for him. Chase Blakely, BPC number 21, runs in 6th. 7th goes to Kyler Hockey on the MXS Magazine, number 25. 8th right now is Brandon Holmes on the Rival Decal, number 48. 9th, James Cohen on the Spink, number 479. Great ride for James here. And rounding out the top 10 is Dylan Copeland on the Tiger Designs Factory Racing, number 14. 11th, Dennis Fjellberg, MV Films, number 55. 12th, Ash Deering, BPC, number 34. 13th, Caden Speck on the Nova GFX, number 19. 14th, Eduardo Simos, rider out of Brazil on the GSR LCQ Studios TM, number 36. 15th, Kyle Carpenter on the 708 Tiger Designs ride. 16th, Jeremy Kohenauer, MV Films, number 15. 17th, the defending champion, number 1, Adam Holm on the atom.com, number 1. 18th, James Armstrong, Mad Cape, number 99. 19th for Trevor Schaefer on the 194 Pro Line Designs machine. And 20th is Braden Castellaneta on the number 122 Nova GFX machine. And that has been a top 20 rundown brought to you by the folks at racetech.com. Oh, Leclerc down at the bottom of the hill in the rollers. See if Haley sees him. Haley should be coming any second now. Wow, Haley didn't get here because he was down at the top of the hill, so they both crashed simultaneously. Oh, man, Leclerc gave a golden opportunity for Haley, and Haley just went down again. Wow, double fall-off crash for Jack Haley. Last thing he was hoping to have right there, and he's kind of stuck on the hill here. Oh, man, Jack Haley. Bummer, bummer, bummer. So Daniel Mills sitting in 3rd, a great ride for him. Now closing up on Jack Haley a little bit after all that chaos. Walter Gebhardt, Jeff Cooper, Chase Blakely, Kyler Hockey, Brandon Holmes, James Cohen, Dylan Copeland, Ash Deering. This is a good battle here, number 14 and number 34 in your program book. Oh, Deering going a little long. He's trying to get on the brakes. Nicely done. Deering on that BPC, number 34. Holding steady. Oh, and he runs wide just as he was starting to close up a little bit more on Copeland. It's not over yet, though. Copeland's got to have eyes in the back of his head for this one. Because Deering is starting to put that pressure on him. And now Deering is all over him over the finish line jump. Oh, down he goes. Not sure if there was any contact there, but that was a weird crash if there was no contact. Either way, look at this freight train coming. Fjellberg, Speck, Kohenauer, and right behind them, Adam Holm over the finish line jump in a tandem here. Oh man, this is also close, and Adam Holm licking his chops trying to get around these guys. Somehow Speck threw it in and didn't go down on the back wheel of Kohenauer, and Holm just trying not to go down on the back wheel of Fjellberg now as he tucks inside. Not gonna get it done just yet. Another inside move. So Adam Holm just biding his time here. Hoping a golden opportunity comes up where these guys all just clash together. Deering just off the front of this group now. Going board with Jack Haley. 55.5 last time by for Haley. Better than Leclerc's last lap by over a second, and his best lap is better than Leclerc's best lap at a 55.3. So Jack Haley feeling comfortable here at Majora Park in the second moto. Very interesting though, because he was right behind Leclerc not too long ago, crashed twice, and this has all come unraveled very quickly for him, unfortunately. He was still close. My oh my, this would be very interesting stuff. The thing about Haley too is he's probably one of the smoothest fast guys ever. He just is, it makes it look so effortless to ride ridiculous pace. Even that video of him on Southwick where he did the fastest lap ever at Southwick, I mean, it was fast, no doubt, but it just didn't look like he was putting that much effort into it. He wasn't scrubbing everything super hard and plowing into the jumps. He was just carrying so much speed and momentum, so smooth and consistent. Got this gap down to just about 15 seconds now, so it's coming down again. Let's see what he runs this time by. 56.4, Leclerc 57.1, so Haley is still going faster, but he needs something to happen to Leclerc. Leclerc has done a good job to weave through a lot of this heavy lap traffic, which now Haley is coming up upon now. He's got 3 riders immediately ahead of him here that he's got to navigate around. I think that's Ian Holm on the 93. He's got to get around first. Can't quite see the number on the other rider ahead of him here. 486. Does a nice job to move out of the way there, though. And now coming up to get, is this Aaron Rockefeller? Oh, Haley down. That was inevitable, huh? Pace he was pushing. Gebhardt not too far behind him now, so Haley's got to be close. And now Gebhardt just had a mistake in the same spot Haley did. So let's see if Mills completes the trend. Nope. He's smooth through there. Brandon Holmes, good ride here in 5th. Blakely still giving chase to him. Kyler Hockey, Jeff Cooper in a battle. Cooper's been riding fabulous this entire moto. Unfortunately, that 4th spot that he was in earlier on is not the case anymore after some crashing, it seems. But still trying to put the pressure on Kyler Hockey. This is a great top 10 spot for him if he can get it done. Inside, Hockey going around that outside. Can't decide what's better there. Cooper mistake. It's going to cost him some time back here. Fjellberg, then Holm. So Holm is up into 10th. Good salvage ride for Adam Holm here. Down in 34th when we first saw him here on the screen. And all the way up to 10th now. Still got some time to work with here. 5.5 minutes and a couple laps. Home a little short on the table. Whew. Almost kicked forward there. Gotta be careful. Got Deering still right behind him, but Fjellberg just ahead of him, and Jeff Cooper not too far up the road, so that could get interesting. And Kyler Hockey also in a position to maybe get passed by Adam Holm. Just trying to think where Adam Holm could get to. Battle for second brewing though. Gebhardt, oh, just as he was getting to Haley, gets into some lap traffic there. And once again, Leclerc, huge lead. Comfortable as can be out front. Only 4 minutes and a couple laps left to go, and he will extend this championship lead to some new heights. 16-point advantage over Haley exiting would be the number. And I think Leclerc would quite like to get this thing wrapped up early if at all possible. Needs a big points haul at some point in the next couple rounds to make it doable before the finale. But at least for right now, Leclerc is in a really good position to continue to claw points towards his championship run. Ooh, the hiccup there though. Because he's been pretty untouchable these last couple weeks. His home Grand Prix of France, and now here again in Majora Park in Italy. Leclerc has been on a different level. That first moto winning by 1 minute and 5 seconds, lapping all the way past 5th. Only 4 riders on the lead lap in that first moto, so not quite as dominant in the second moto, and we saw part of the reason from that was battling with Jack Haley early in the race, but at least right now Leclerc has been smooth sailing since about the halfway point. Haley, Gebhardt, looks like Mills starting to close back up on Gebhardt a little bit. Blakely, Holmes, Hockey, Fjellberg, Jeff Cooper was down. Deering goes by, and Adam Holm is just coming into the picture, so Deering got back by Adam Holm somewhere, putting him down into 11th. But now Jeff Cooper is right in front of Holm and ripe for the picking as he gets passed. Holm goes on through. Next up, he's going to try to get around Deering. That would be 9th. And Fjellberg not too far ahead of him in 8th. So again, salvage-wise, this is a good ride for Holm. He'll be very disappointed in it, though, because title rivals ahead of him. Leclerc and Haley, first and second in the championship, first and second in this race right now. But at least it's not a complete drown out of points for Adam Holm. It could have been so much worse starting down the field, having that early crash. He was as far back as 34th at one point. Trying to keep the pressure on Deering, though. Maybe force him into an error and get back around him. Holm definitely has closed down that gap quite quickly here in the last couple laps. Back onto Deering. And again, like I said, this is battle for 9th, moving further up into the field, and Fjellberg just ahead of these guys are starting to close up on him. Rider down, but not one of the lead riders. Someone else off the side of the track. Fjellberg checks in, Deering right there, and then Holm coming in behind them. Kyler Hockey has Brandon Holmes in his sights. And Leclerc has lapped up to 11th. So even so, maybe not as dominating as the first moto. Still ridiculous nonetheless. Here's Holm on Deering, top of the hill. Inside, this would be the move. Woo! Man, that was almost contact. Deering holds on for now. They are catching Fjellberg with reckless abandon right now. They are all over the Norwegian rider ahead of them. Outside move, Holm not quite able to make it stick. And goes outside again here, just trying something different. Deering goes down. Good line there for Holm not to get caught up with that. Next up, can he get around Fjellberg? And really not too far ahead of them would be Brandon Holmes, but he's running out of time. As time has now expired, so 2-lap card going out next time by for Leclerc in the race lead. And here we go, Holm up alongside Fjellberg. Fjellberg defends, swings outside. Fjellberg holds him at bay for the time being, but Holm just trying to bide his time here. Does not want to go down and lose more positions. He's already got himself in a position. Points-wise, it's a lot better than it could have been. So just methodically clip away these last couple spots if he can. Fjellberg, big whipper tail ahead of him. Oh, man. I'm going a little long on the finish line jump. Got to be careful not to land on Fjellberg's back. It's only 10 seconds down of Kyler Hockey in 6th. But again, still needs some help. 2-lap board out for Leclerc as he crosses the line behind these guys down at the bottom of the hill. And Holm trying everything. He could have had the move there, and there it is. Oh, man, he got the pass done and shuts the door on Fjellberg. So can he get to Brandon Holmes or Kyler Hockey, or is Brandon Holmes going to get to Kyler Hockey, rather? Hockey riding very well in this moto, but Holmes has got the fire in his belly and trying to close this thing down before this race ends. In a way, though, this could be good news for Holm, because if these two get together and at the very least slow each other down, it's helping him close up. But I think ideally for Holm, they get together and both go down. So Holm can take an easy pass to get through into 6th. Not going to get to Blakely here in 5th as he's coming across the line here. And Emil's doing a little bit of dancing. And Gebhardt has got around Haley for 2nd. So that's more points against Jack Haley. He will lose 10 points today instead of 8. Open up the points lead for Leclerc to 18 if it stays like this. And at least for right now, it seems like it will definitely stay like this. White flag coming out this time by for Leclerc. Final lap of the race. Smooth as butter. And he's actually lapping Fjellberg, so he almost got to lapping Adam Holm in this race, which still could happen. There it is, white flag waving. Gebhardt trying to hold Haley at bay. Mills strong 4th, 5th right here for Blakely. Yep. And Brandon Holmes did get around Kyler Hockey. And Fjellberg actually is back ahead of Adam Holmes. So yeah, something happened. Adam Holm now behind Alexis Leclerc, so he did go a lap down. But man, this is a crazy battle. Both these guys high revving at the top of the hill. Hockey just trying everything to get back around Holmes, although he would do himself a favor to settle in behind him and not make a desperation pass here, because the last thing he wants to do is go down, get lapped by Leclerc, and not have that extra lap to go after Holmes, just in case something were to happen to Brandon Holmes on the last lap of the race. So while it is a valiant effort to try to give it to him right now, maybe just tuck in and stay as close as possible. Don't get lapped by Leclerc. He's probably got the blue board, though. Yep, 2.8 seconds. Leclerc might even lap up to 6 before this is over if these two continue their fight and slow each other down. Hockey just trying to keep it close, does not want to let Leclerc lap him, and he's going to mess up. And Leclerc down the inside is going to try to lap Hockey, who jumps long over this jump, and Leclerc goes by. Oh, but Leclerc goes down, and Hockey hits him. And he's down. Oh, what a bummer for Kyler Hockey as Fjellberg goes by. Leclerc gets up. Holm goes through. Holm's trying to... Is he going to try to let... No, he's going to let Leclerc go, but Holm got back around Hockey, who just lost a couple key positions there at the very end of the race. What a bummer for Kyler Hockey. Wrong place, wrong time. Either way, though, this race, a dominating victory. Both motos here, and a 1-1 performance on the day extends his points lead. Alexis Leclerc has won the Italian Grand Prix in MX Simulator. Nice big backflip over the finish line jump. Holm ends up in the 8th spot. Hockey ends up 9th. Gebhardt's trying to hold Haley at bay, but this is going to be a race to the checkered flag because Haley wants those points. Instead of being 18 down, he'd love to only be 15 down. Or 16 down, I should say. If he can get second on Gebhardt here. 5 and 6. Coming down the hill one last time. Does Haley have something lined up? Sends it in hard on the wall. Gebhardt crosses over. Haley's got a great drive to the line. It's going to be so close. Haley sends it in and goes down. And Gebhardt got it over the finish line. Jump in second. Whew, that was close. But it is going to be Gebhardt second, so Haley misses out on a couple points there. Now 18 down in the championship. Daniel Mills, great ride to come home 4th here. And Brandon Holmes breathes a sigh of relief because he was going to have to deal with Kyler Hockey and maybe even Dennis Fjellberg there, but Fjellberg just went down. Hockey ended up going down a lap ago, ends up a lap down. 4th does go to Daniel Mills. 5th is going to go to Chase Blakely. And Brandon Holmes trying to hold on for 6th here. Should do so no problem, especially Fjellberg going down again there in 7th. So it's 8th Adam Holm, 9th Hockey, 10th Deering, 11th Jeff Cooper, 12th Kyle Carpenter, 13th Eduardo Simos, 14th James Cohen, 15th for Braden Castellaneta, 16th Dylan Copeland, 17th Caden Speck, 18th Fernando Andrade, 19th Trevor Schaefer, and 20th. And the final points paying position to Ethan Parks, 21st Carson West, 22nd Aaron Rockefeller, 23rd Ian Holm coming to the line here. 24th is going to be Jeremy Cohenauer, battling with Jet Wisdom to the line, but Wisdom goes down. Armstrong is also down off the side of the track. That'll be 25th and 26th. Wisdowski was 2 laps down in 27th. Braden L. also 2 laps down coming across here in 28th. Model, Wilson, Bear, Mullins, Heagney, Pachon, Wells, Raffiani, Fowler, LeBeau all out of the race. And we're basically just waiting on, I think, 7th to cross the line here, Dennis Fjellberg. And we'll get cuts. Little backflip for Dennis. Just having a little bit of fun, and indeed it is. We are just waiting for Fjellberg to cross the line, and we'll get cuts. So there he is. Looks like Trevor Schaefer got around Andrade for 18th on cuts, and that was it. This is the Italian Grand Prix in the rearview mirror. And Leclerc dominates in the MX1 division. What a night of racing here. Race Factor Gaming competition here from the Italian Grand Prix in Majora Park. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this one. I know I did. It was a blast. Thank you guys again so much for joining us. Again, we should be streaming High Point tomorrow night. I'm not 100% sure, so I'll just let you guys know sometime tomorrow on social feeds or even on the YouTube channel itself. But I appreciate you guys stopping by here for the Italian Grand Prix. And don't miss Wednesday's action, round 3 of the Race Factor Gaming National Championship, which will come at same time, same place, right here on Start Your Systems at 5:30 p.m. Pacific, 8:30 p.m. Eastern. And yeah, that's going to do it for us here in Italy. Appreciate you guys stopping by and watching, and we'll see you guys maybe tomorrow night here for High Point.
to you. Say it like that. If I hate you, then find someone new. Baby, but you know I never will. No, so I choke you down just like a pill. Say sorry. Oh, maybe I'll leave. Baby, but you know I never will. No, so I choke you down just like a pill. You like a